You're my special friend. Can everyone say hi to my friend?
Back from the dead.
What the fuck are you doing here? Oh, of course. How could I forget? It's Top 5 Live. Well, welcome to the party, pal. Your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos back with you once again. I hope you're well. Happy early New Year. As of the recording of this video, if you're watching it live, then you know. But if you're watching it afterwards, then you may not. It is the 30th. Tomorrow's the last day of the year. And I thought, what? I'm going to be live next, for the countdown for the 31st. But I said, what a great way to go out to celebrate 2021, the year in movies. By bringing together some of my friends, those who were available to show up anyway. I cast a wide net, bring in some friends to discuss our top 5 movies of the year. I've done a whole best of thing this month, so I'm not going to focus on those that I've already talked about. These are movies I've never even mentioned on the channel. These are my absolute favorite knockout movies of 2021, and I've got some buddies to share theirs as well. So let me introduce them without further ado. Mr. Tony the Dead, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure.
No problem. I appreciate it every time I get invited.
Fantastic. Well, let's. If you behave, maybe we can keep it going. We'll see what happens. I no promises. LD Madera, what's up, man?
Hey, Master Chaos. Good to see you again.
Oh, it's a pleasure, sir. Happy New Year to you and your wife. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful time over there. Is it raining, by the way, in Florida right now?
Not right now. We did have some rain sometime last week, but this week it's been pretty dry. But, give it a day or two. I'm sure it'll come back.
You know what happened? I hope so, because it's fucking raining over here. It is rain. California never rains the whole goddamn year. And then when I put out decorations for Halloween and Christmas, oh, it's fucking mud season here. So yeah, it's been raining for a week straight. And my socks are wet because my office is flooded. So fantastic. So I really hope the rain goes back to you pretty soon because I don't like it.
I'm sure it will.
Although I do miss it. I do miss the rain. Straight from Florida, my brother from another mother, Brother Chaos. What's up, man?
Hey, everybody. How you doing? I'm doing good.
Brother Chaos, did you hear that there is the goriest VSA is coming this January?
Yes, I did hear about that. Yeah.
I know you'll get it regardless, even if it's like penis torture 46, you'll buy that, right?
I'll buy it. Yes, definitely.
Jesus Christ. Okay, good. Well, happy to have you here, brother. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Aaron Pin. What's up, man?
Hey, in brightest day and darkest night.
It
is going okay. Goriest VSI ever?
That's what it says.
Oh, crap. I'm collecting them all. I'm like Brother Chaos. I'm stuck either way.
Either way. Well, luckily, you're one of the few that actually like Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Bullshit or whatever it's called.
At least it's not Ebola syndrome. That's my go-to line.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's funny. Well, Ebola, that's a conversation for another day. But we'll talk that down the line. Let me bring in my last guest, another man, myth, and legend who just actually he crossed 1,000 already. But Night Watch, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
Oh, dude, I'm so happy to see you. I always have such a fun time when you're on, and I've been watching your stuff, and I know you're hyped for Scream. And you're like me, man. We're like diehard for that. So what are your hopes? Are you hoping that this thing is going to revitalize the franchise like I am, or do you fear that this is going to Last Jedi the entire franchise?
I hope it doesn't Last Jedi. I don't even want to hear those words again.
Oh, God.
I have a lot of high hopes for it. I think everything that we've seen so far points in the right direction. I think it's going to be good. I think it'll revitalize things. I mean, it's got so much hype. It's not even funny, man. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. I really do.
Everything
looks
too.
like it points in that way.
Publicity-wise, I don't think any of the movies have had so much, definitely as many posters as this one's had.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they're doing everything, man. They're doing social media, they're doing TikTok, they're doing TV spots, and they haven't even released a second trailer. Like that's supposed to be happening soon. So it's just crazy. The hype is crazy, man.
I'll tell you what. I've got tickets to see it 3 times on opening weekend. I couldn't get press passes. I was trying very hard. I'm not there yet. I didn't have the clout to get press passes.
Nice.
Also, they might look at my IMDb and say, "Oh, we can't let him in because he has an IMDb." They do that in California. They will check you in line for that. And I've been turned down. So sorry, sir, you're on IMDb. You're not allowed. You're in the industry. I'm like, God damn it. So
Right.
that's happened before. So I'm gonna go see it Thursday. There's a Q&A thing. They're happening at Regal Theaters. I'm going to that. Then I'm seeing it Friday with the family, and then I'm gonna go see it maybe Saturday or Sunday with my buddy Wet Movie. So I've got the weekend covered. I'm hoping it's good. Honestly, I talked myself into liking Scream 3, like a lot of us did.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't.
Was it?
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't until afterwards I was like, yeah, the explosion thing was a bit much. But anyway, we're not talking.
What are you gonna do if it's worse than Tiger Claws 3?
I honestly, we'll probably jump out a window.
And then go to the second showing.
And I'll go to the second showing. Right. Oh man, I honestly, I think these guys know what they're doing. So they're fans, which is you hear them talk, the directors, and you hear them talk, and they like this shit. So they care about it.
They're very big fans.
That's important. As long as that's why Matrix 4 was terrible, because even the director didn't want to do it. She's like, you see her in interviews, she's like, she didn't want to do it. And then the movie just shows like they had no ideas. So I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but you know what? Maybe we'll have a Scream roundtable. I'd love to do that. I know I was talking to Knight about this. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay,
absolutely.
We're talking top 5 2021 films. Let me check in with the chat because I've been ignoring you guys. Sorry, Scream is a thing. It took over. I have to discuss it. No Plan Joe, hey to you. Welcome to the party. Interweb Kaiju, what's up, Casey? I wish you were here, man. I sent you an invite, but you were probably busy, so it's all cool, man. Jim Powers, my friend, how are you? MC, you can play Hard Rain with Little Master. It's funny you say that, Fett, because today I just bought him a tank top, and the first thing he did was put blood on it and run around like John McClane. So there you go. There you go. I'm sure he will love. Hard Rain when I show it to him. Marco says, "Hey, brother Chaos, thanks for your support of TC 2000."
Oh, no problem. Movie.
That was a rough one. Wet Movie, what's up, man? Brother Chaos is my favorite. That dude is cool as hell. Look at that. All right.
Oh, thank you, Wet Movie.
Cinematic Circus, what's up, man? Let me know when you start your channel. I'll start pimping it out, okay? Dustin Lewis is incorrect. Incorrect. You can stay here though, but you're incorrect. 4 is, I think 4 is completely underrated, in my opinion.
I think so.
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
It's the second best.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Aaron, you rock. You're amazing, and I love you. I'm gonna send you money now because that's amazing. You're awesome. Anyway, Jalal Murray says the killer. Yeah, I'm sure he is. I think that would be amazing. If he shows up in the movie, I would be actually it'd be really fucking cool, but nobody would know who he is. Anyway, top 5s. So what I've asked these gentlemen to do is give me a list of their 5 best movies of 2021. This is no limits. It could be an old movie you saw this year that really made an impact on you. It could be a theatrical release, streaming, whatever, boutique, Blu-ray, anything. Just and any the 5 movies that you will revisit or you will 100% recommend, hands down, to anybody. And they've done so. I've also got 3 guests via video that will pop in here and there to give us their list. So we'll turn the show over to them when it's their time to shine. But for now, let's start off with number 5. And I guess I'll go first, since I think in my orientation I'm first. I don't know. Let me see what I'm right. Okay. I'll go first. I'll break the ice here. My number 5 is a movie that I saw, I don't know when, but I had really little hopes for. I liked one of the actors in that cast, and I said, let me try it. Let me see what this is about, and it blew my mind. Number 5 for me, Werewolves Within. What a fun movie. I mean, I love horror comedies, and I thought they could be make or break. But sorry to block you guys, by the way. Werewolves Within is such a funny movie. It's so well constructed. Again, when I watch a movie, I watch it as from a screenwriting perspective always. So I'm always watching, where the lines come in, how the plot is developed, why the pacing is the way it is. There's a movie coming up, my number one, that is super slow paced, but it's deliberately paced. Werewolves Within is a murder mystery. It's 10 little Indians. One of them is a werewolf. And it's definitely played for laughs, but there's still some gory kills and some fun monster stuff to be had. It's not a big werewolf movie. No spoilers, by the way, in the chat. For those of you watching, I will erase those. So no spoilers on anything we discussed today. It is a murder mystery, but involving werewolves. Not a big werewolf movie, but it's more about the cast. It's more about the ensemble. And I was just head over heels with it. And also, I think the female lead is just absolutely gorgeous. Melania something. Her name is very complicated, but she is amazing. Sam Richardson is the male lead. He's so good. He's in Hocus Pocus too, and I'm very excited to see that movie even more now because of him in this movie. So that's my number 5. Has anybody in the room here seen Werewolves? I know, Tony, you've seen it, right?
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Nice. Has anybody else seen it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
I highly recommend it. So much fun. It's definitely one of those that it's a super fly under the radar movie, but dang, worked for me. Okay, let's go to Tony. Tony, what is your number 5? Are you ready to reveal yourself to us?
Yeah, I'm ready to reveal myself. Well, do you have it queued up?
Yeah, just tell me what it is, and I'll.
Okay. I would have to say my number 5 was Mill of the Stone Women.
Right.
I'm not really into. I'm getting more into those type of movies, and I really like wax movies. And that. I really enjoyed this a lot. Just love the look of it, the documentary behind it, everything. It was just such a surprise at how much I liked it. Beautiful addition. I was like, wow, this is like the best one that Arrow put out. And I want to say this too. My list was hard to find because you said impacted me. Right. And my son's apparently here. I haven't really had anything that impacted me. I have movies that have done that to me, but nothing really this year that just ones that I liked a lot, but nothing that like changed my life. You know what I mean? But Mill of the Stone Women, I really, really like that one a lot. That's probably my number 5, I would say.
Okay. Baron says great pick.
Thank you.
Excellent. And that's the one that has like a poster and a book and all that crazy stuff.
Yep. Hardcover and everything. Yeah. The reviews on my channel if you're interested.
Yes. By the way, everybody is linked in the description. If you don't follow these guys, go check them out. You do need to know them, and you will enjoy their content. Okay, let's. Very good, Tony. Let's hop on over to LD, the Magic Man.
All right. Well, my number 5, and like Tony, these films in my list weren't necessarily life-changing, but I appreciated the hell out of them, and I was so happy to see them this year. So number 5 for me is Justice League, the Snyder Cut. And the reason why I appreciated this so much is because I will say in all honesty that this film restored my faith in DC movies. Because truth be told, I'm a DC fan, but I felt like the past couple of movies, for me, haven't been that great. And I saw the original cut of Justice League, and like most people, I wasn't that thrilled with it. But I watched the Snyder Cut. I've watched it a couple of times already. That's how much I enjoyed it. And I liked it because you actually care about everybody in this film. You care about all the heroes, including Flash, including Cyborg. Everybody matters, not just the top guys, not just Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. So yeah, that's definitely number 5 for me.
You know what? This was on my list too. At one point, it got bumped only because there was a couple of other things that just made more of an impact for me. But I'm a a big DC guy. I've got a Superman tattoo. I love DC. So Justice League, the Snyder Cut was fantastic. I think I did a really good job with that. I'm curious. I'm gonna ask Aaron real quick. What did you think of the Snyder Cut?
It was good. I mean, I liked. Well, it's better than the Joss Whedon version, like by a country mile. Obviously, I'm a comic book guy. It's my thing. I'm glad it's done. Like, I know there's a bunch of people that like want to do the whole like let's keep the Snyderverse going, and I'm like, I think he said what he wanted to say, and I'm good with that. Like, I'm glad that he got the chance to go back and make the film that he wanted to, like he should have done in the first, like shouldn't have done in the first place. Unfortunately, tragedy behind the scenes caused it not to happen. And you don't see this very often, that they can actually go out and say, okay, your vision, we're gonna let you go out there and make your vision the way that it should be. So I enjoyed the hell of it. We had what we have here is Crave. It's kind of like with HBO, and we literally got it for that film. And we had a blast. We sat through the whole thing in one sitting, and I've watched it a couple times since then. So really like it. And I think that, okay, this is kind of like the culmination. I did hear a bit what was going to happen afterwards, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I heard about what the next film is going to be, and I'm like, nope, no. I'm good. Kind of like when you watch the series Firefly, Joss Whedon's Firefly.
Your power go out?
Well, that was weird. And did you hear that explosion?
Yeah.
Well, the kind of explosion there.
Oh,
I'm not sure if I'm going to be here for that long, guys, because
It's the DC people. They don't like your comments.
the DC people should like me. I'm the guy that likes their stuff.
That's true.
Sorry, Aaron. I think America's invading.
We're taking out Canada.
You're too nice.
Well, stay safe, Aaron. Hopefully, if his signal goes out, hopefully you can survive the night. I don't know. You're in your own horror movie right
it's
now.
crazy, man. I don't know what to tell you. It sounds like a transformer or something down the road just literally exploded.
Wow.
So that's what's happened just now.
Oh my God.
But if we have power right there for some reason, but why don't we have power right? Unless it's okay, guys. I got to do that scream thing of I'll be right back and check out the.
Be safe.
Wow. We're gonna have an actual horror movie happening live.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Don't say I'll be right back.
And while you're at it, drop me a thumbs up. And if you give me a thumbs up, Aaron will survive. So
this isn't your asylum movie, is it?
Yes. I'm
Oh no, we're in the movie.
You guys are all getting paid as much as I am. $100.
That's more than I expected, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Baron is excited. He wants to see what happens next. Okay, so let's check in with the Night Watch Zone. What is your number 5?
Well, I also want to say the Snyder Cut was almost in my 5 too. But you said have some honorable mentions, so I did move that to an honorable mention. But it was awesome. I do have to say, I really enjoyed it and watched it in one viewing. It was great. But my number 5, and again, this was kind of difficult because I was trying to think of the 5 movies that I'd pick, and as far as new movies, I've only seen a handful. And then I was thinking, well, I've seen some movies that have been around for a long time that I had never seen before. So anyways, but from number 5, I picked Saint Maud.
Okay. This one is one I'm very curious about. So tell me, why did this end up on your list?
Well, first of all, I was going to be doing an episode on it. And me and my brother and Patrick from Have Cheatable View. And so that was one of the reasons I watched it. And I didn't hear too much about it. I heard some good things about it. Oh, he's gone.
We lost him. We lost him, guys.
Oh, no.
We'll keep the light on for him. Hopefully he'll return.
Right. But I heard some things about it, and I was just interested. Especially when you go into a movie blind. I always love that. So I went into this movie pretty blind. I watched it, and without giving away any spoilers at all, it was one of those movies that it just took you down this weird road that you didn't necessarily expect. Everything I thought this movie was going to be, it pretty much was turned on its head. And by the end of the movie, I was just like, okay, that was very, it was unique, you know. And I always love movies like that, especially when I go in blind. So I had to put that on my list. It was a good watch. It really was.
I love it. I'm just texting Aaron to make sure he's okay.
Right.
Hopefully he didn't get murdered. If not, hey, we've got the last known footage of Aaron Pin here. Saint Maud. I'm very excited to watch that. That actually, you actually bumped it up on my watch list because I completely forgot about it. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and I just watched it about 3 weeks ago, you know, and it's the type of movie that when it was over, it kind of stuck with me for a while. You know, I was kind of like rethinking things and stuff like that. So that always tells me that it's a movie that I really liked.
Amazing. Great choice. Okay, Brother Chaos. What do you got for us? What is your number 5?
Well, when I gave you the list, it was just them in random order, but I put them in order of least to best right now.
Sure.
So my number 5 would have to be Vinegar Syndrome Archives, The Grave.
Okay.
Now that one I knew nothing about, and I was the least enthusiastic of most of the Vinegar Syndrome Archive movies because it didn't have a flashy artwork. It didn't have anything super special like on the front or on the back. And I remember us talking about it and we were like, oh man, this is gonna be another stinker. And I watched it and it was damn good. The characters are likable. At the beginning, you have to get used to the fact that it's kind of like a southern kind of like type movie where the characters talk a different way.
Yeah.
But basically the story is about 2 guys that are in jail, and another prisoner tells them that there's this grave that has treasure buried in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really a horror movie. It's more of like everyone goes crazy for the treasure kind of movie.
Right. It's a crime movie.
Yeah, I liked it a whole lot. And I was surprised since I'm collecting all the Vinegar Syndrome Archive movies. It always makes me feel good when I see one that I like because many of them are really shitty, you know.
Yes.
But so The Grave is my number 5, and it, like many of the other movies that you guys have mentioned, you know, it's good when like the next day you're thinking about it and you're like, man, this stays with you, you know.
Yeah.
Especially the ending, which no spoilers is really cool.
Yeah, I can't believe they killed that dog. It's crazy. No, I'm kidding. That doesn't happen.
No.
It might be spoilers in a sense because we haven't reviewed it yet. Our review is going to come out next year, actually next week. Jesus, next week, yeah. So I'm kind of spoilers as to what our review entails for that movie. But that is a good damn movie. Absolutely.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely. Lope. Sorry, I never know how to pronounce your name. I'll say LV Films says, big shout out to Brother Chaos. Welcome back, friend.
Oh, thank you, LV Films. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it either. But thank you.
Excited for Dead Heat 4K. Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. Curfew is. I'm curious about it because I hear it's like a whole bunch of a different genre smashed together. So we'll see. We'll see. Lepke, I will remember that. Thank you, sir.
Lepke. Okay.
Okay, so we've all done our top 5s. Well, Aaron, you know, he's not here. I don't know if he's gonna pop in. You know what? I'll do his top 5. Well, you know what? I'll wait. If he can't come in, we'll do his top 5 towards the end. Because I don't know if he sent it to me in that order or not. So I'll wait to see if he comes back from the dead or whatever. All right. So here, let's go to our first video. This is a contributing video from Man V Film. He sent me this. He wanted to be here today, but of course, he's in the UK, so it makes it difficult to add him to things like this. But he had the time. He made the time for us to put together this little video. So here is Man V Film's top 5. I'm going to turn it over to him.
Well, hello, Master Chaos. It's Graham here from Man v Film, and you've asked me to pick out 5 titles, maybe my best of the year, or just films that I've discovered for the first time, or that. So I had a look through the collection and just pulled out the first 5 that really jumped out to me, that seemed to be special movies of films I've discovered this year. Not necessarily released this year, but just discovered. So first up, we have the awesome New York Ninja, which just is a marvel that it even exists. And I think the package that it received, the movie itself, the way it just brings all these genre elements and just ticks all the boxes. Is it the greatest movie ever? No. Is it highly enjoyable? 100% yes on that. Next up, an older movie from my Masters of Cinema collection is Henry Georges Clouzot's The Murderer Lives at Number 21. A kind of procedural mystery movie where a detective moves to this kind of boarding house where he believes a murderer stays, and he starts investigating all the people who live there. It's incredibly funny. It's got a wonderful mystery at the heart of it. It's wonderfully directed and acted, and was an absolute joy of a discovery. One of those movies that sat in my collection for a number of years before I got to it. Next up from Severin is Perdita Durango. One of those movies that just bowled me over. Sat down, hit play, and was just gobsmacked by the images I was seeing, by the tale that I was following, by following these 2 horrible characters doing disgusting things. It was both highly entertaining, disgusting, and captivating at the same time. Loved it. Another one that was just an amazing release this year is Siege. Basically, Attack on Precinct 13, pretty much, set in Canada, a wonderful tale, some terrific action inside it. The characters I enjoyed, the situation was nail-biting in my eyes, and was just one of those movies that I can't believe I had never heard of before, because it's wonderful. And the last movie that I've discovered this year, and one that made an indelible mark on my movie watching, was American Rickshaw. This thing was amazing. I was so into it right from the opening shot. It's ludicrous, over the top, batshit crazy, completely silly, with so many memorable moments, and so many times I was just scratching my head going, what the heck is going on here? It's so utterly brilliant. American Rickshaw was one of my favourite discoveries, if not my favourite of the year, because it was just mental. That's 5 titles from me. Maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't, maybe you discover something that you haven't heard of before. I hope so. And if you're just, pottering around watching Master Chaos do his thing, hit the subscribe button and the like button, because I'm sure he loves all that kind of stuff. See you next time. Have a great new year.
I love it. He is amazing. He has become a very good friend, and I was honored that he was able to make the time for us. Quick update on Aaron. He is alive. He is alive.
Awesome.
And he says a transformer did blow up, I guess, at the corner of his street. There's a small fire, and only his wife is dead. So everything is fine. Aaron is alive. No, I'm kidding. Completely kidding. Everybody's fine. There is a transformer damage situation, but he may or may not pop in. So we're just gonna wait on his video, on his list. But he's okay, and that's the good news. American Rickshaw is a very interesting movie. I don't know that that's one that I would recommend, but it's funny that it was on his list. It's definitely one of those what the hell kind of movies. Okay, let's talk number 4 for everybody here. I will roll the dice here. Number 4 was another. This was actually. Shit, this is the only boutique Blu-ray on here. Dang. Okay. Now I've mentioned stuff like Siege from Severin. That's a movie that I really loved. Scanner Cop, all that stuff. I've already done that when talking about the best of Vinegar Syndrome and Severin. This is just movies that really made an impact on me. Number 4 is probably one you haven't seen, but you should. Adoration. This is a masterpiece, a stone cold masterwork, something that can be taught in film schools. The simple story of a boy and a girl on the run. He works, his mother works in a mental hospital, and this girl becomes a patient there. And he sort of, helps out, taking care of the lawn or whatever, just hanging out. And he falls in love with this girl. And the girl says, they're keeping me here illegally. I'm not crazy. You have to help me. They're trying to take away my inheritance. Of course, love blinds him, and they escape. And what happens then, it is edge of your seat, thrilling, surprising, shocking, and just beautiful. Adoration is a masterpiece. This was actually my number 1 for quite a long time. I love it. I love it so much, and it's probably my favorite thing that I've ever bought from a boutique label this year. And I guess some people did pick it up because the slip is gone. If anyone's curious about that, the slip is gone from the partner labels over on Vinegar Syndrome's website. Okay, Tony Bomboni, what is your number 4?
Well, I would have to say this surprised me, and technically the version I'm showing isn't the one I watch. It is the version, but I didn't watch this, which I'll explain. But I will Action USA. I just was blown away by the stunts in there, especially by some of the actors, like Mac's dad and everything. Like I just liked the whole like Lethal Weapon kind of way to it. It just like kept me watching the whole time. And but the version I watched was the MVD one, but they said that's the same
transfer.
Yeah, because this is still sealed.
Nice.
And I know it's like out of print and everything, but
not anymore. It's coming back tomorrow.
It's so funny how they find that stuff just in this corner of a warehouse, isn't it?
Right.
Wow. Anyway, but yeah, that's definitely my number 4. I had a lot of fun with it. It was cheesy, but the stunts were like over the top, and I really liked it.
That is a fun movie. I would say that's probably my that and The Grave are my favorite VSAs of the year for sure. Really good times. Okay, fantastic choice. LD, what do you got for me?
Well, my number 4, I was actually surprised that I was going to like this one because I saw the trailer and I didn't think too highly of the trailer, but I decided let me give it a shot anyway. But I actually enjoyed watching it, and it's the movie Top Secret with Val Kilmer. And I surprisingly enjoyed it. It's the first time I see Val Kilmer in a comedy. And what I enjoyed about it is that it's a film where you can tell they're not trying to be the best comedy. They're just trying to do something their way. They know that what they're doing is ridiculous. But they're just enjoying the heck out of it. I especially love the final fight sequence, and I don't think this is a spoiler, so I can say this. But they do a fight scene in a Western, and the whole sequence is underwater. And I thought, wow, and this is an 80s movie, so this is, they don't have like the expensive CGI stuff that we have now. So I thought, wow, that must have been really difficult to do. So I totally appreciate it. And it was a surprise to me that I would enjoy it. But yeah, that's my number 4, Top Secret.
What I love about these lists is that they're so different from each other. I don't think there's any movie that gets repeated, which is kind of amazing. Top Secret is so good. It's such a funny movie. It's a classic. I'm a sucker for spy stuff, so that's that, and the fact that it's the airplane guys. I love this movie so much. And I'm happy that you enjoyed it as well. And you discovered that this year? You watched that this year? Like, and yeah. Like, let me pop this in and see what happens to my eyes?
Yeah, well, a friend of mine told me about it. He said, dude, you have to check this out. It's amazing. It's Val Kilmer at its best. And I'm like, well, that's a weird phrase to say. But I decided, let me go ahead and check it out. And I saw the trailer first, and I'm like, I don't know. But then my wife and I, we said, what the heck, let's see it. And I actually enjoyed it.
I love it. Hey, guess what? Aaron's alive.
Oh, man. I'm back. Well, I'm back for a couple minutes anyway, because I think my thing is going to go.
Okay, so
if
you want to
don't mind, I'm going to be all impromptu, and my
Do
better
it.
half, I need my phone because my list is on it. I'm going to give you my list all at once. So,
Let's do it.
short story, Transformer Blue, because kids play with matches around here, and I don't care how old they are. I would beat their ass right now if I knew where they were at.
Just give him a gun.
Give him a gun. What?
I'm like, what, for these people? Are you serious? Okay. Honorable mentions. Randolph Scott Western box set, one of my grandmother's favorite actors, and I love those films.
Mm-hmm.
Night of the Living Dead, Carnival of Souls Criterion editions. I got those from Cinema Dave this year. Although they came out a couple years back, it really reinvigorated my love for Criterion, and it's one of the reasons I'm going to be doing Criterion stuff in 2022. Number 5, Scanners Cop 4. The 4K edition. It's just one. It's super cool Canadiana exploitation. It's fun. It's Pierre David. He's a Roger Corman of Canada. That was an easy one. Number 3 for me is Walking the Edge Fun City. Number 4 is Walking the Edge Fun City Editions. A great release. And if you don't have it, Fun City Editions, everything they put out is amazing. And this is no, it was between this and Primetime Panic. And Primetime Panic is the best TV box set that came out this year. Just saying. Number 3, the Carol Lombard Collection. Hey there, Baron. Volume 2. Especially because it has Love Before Breakfast. And that has, you can't see it here. Anyway, that infamous poster with her with the black eye, which is really, really cool. It's an excellent film. What am I at now? Number 2, right?
2, yeah.
Number 2, Columbia Film Noir, Volume 2, in box set with Indicator, and it ties with Blood for Dracula for number 2. Indicator and Severin put out some really great stuff this year, but there was one number 1 that I didn't expect to become an amazing super part of my life. As in, I'm going to watch this movie a lot, especially when I'm feeling down or depressed, and maybe soon when this power comes back. Malcolm is 110% the best damn thing I've seen this year. And it may be the best thing I've seen in a couple of years. It's a really nice release put out by Umbrella Entertainment. But my good friend Brian from Just This Podcast, he touted it, said, this is amazing. I'm like, I can't remember this very well. And I kind of knew The Big Steal a little bit with Ben Mendelsohn, same director, also put out this year. So I was interested to see that, but I wasn't sure about Malcolm. But if you've never seen Malcolm, have you seen Malcolm?
No, I'm buying it right now.
It's really good. I mean, it's surprising. You got this guy, and he's, I guess, maybe savant. He's really good when it comes to gadgets, making gadgets, electronics, and he works at this place at this tram. He loves trams, and he actually has stolen parts and made his own kind of small tram. So he gets involved with the guy that becomes his roommate, who's just gotten out of prison, and he's he's a bit rough around the edges, but a kind of a cool guy. And they decide that they're going to do a heist, and this isn't your average heist where you get a bunch of people together and things go wrong or somebody kind of backstab somebody. This is a heist done in, think of like a FX or FX2 type of thing. He uses stuff around his house to make robots and little things to do the heist with. And it's super cool. It's a low budget. It's excellent. It's a fantastic film. If you've never seen it, definitely check it out. It's really, really different. And you think, oh, this could be a family film. And then there's a news scene. And you're like, okay, well, maybe not a total family film. It's like a PG-13. So you got some nudity there. You got a little bit of, a little bit of violence and stuff. But it's a surprising film. I never expected to like it as much as I did. But it's one of those that when I finished watching it, I thought about it. And a while later, but I think it was a week later, I sat down and, I was in kind of a ho-hum type of thing. Had a bad day at work, like every day. And I watched it again. So, yeah, that's my big one for 2021. Hopefully, I'll get a lot more surprises like that. That's what I want. I want to get more stuff that I've been collecting a lot of stuff, kind of cheesy, fun, off-the-wall type stuff. But it's these little films that have kind of fallen under my radar that are really starting to make me fall back in love with cinema again.
I love it. That's great. That's a perfect choice, and you've made a sale. If you vouch, I'm in. I'm gonna grab it.
Let me know what you think. Actually, really do, because I really think this is a well constructed film. I mean, you take things from a filmmaker's perspective, and Yeah, I definitely want your thoughts on this because when it's a well made and well done film, and we got a lot of films and like that we love in our collection that we love them, even though we know they're not well made. We know they're not well done. We love them in spite of it. They're our cult favorites, or they're the little ones like that that shouldn't have made it but did, or that lived long enough to become a cult classic that was in obscurity for a long period of time. Anywho, with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys to do it. Subscribe to all these guys. They're amazing, amazing, awesome people. Every single one of them. And I will see you guys soon because right now I feel like I'm living in one of those, like in Siege, like that Halifax shot film. Hopefully it doesn't go like that.
No.
But so you'll hear from me again sometime in the future. And if you do have a Scream like roundtable, count me in because I'm one of the biggest Scream heads you can imagine.
Oh my God, dude, absolutely. Please stay safe out there. Don't kill too many kids. And,
I'll try not to.
I'll see like three, maybe three. What do you? That's a good number, right?
See, the way I see it right now, it's like the Invisible Man, or like no, not the Invisible Man, like Hollow Man. You know, what would you do when you don't have to look yourself in the mirror? With those amazingly like nice and happy thoughts.
That sounds awesome.
Everybody there, howdy ho. Have a great night. And here in the Call to Cinema, whenever you come in, you got a friend to the end. These guys are awesome. Thank you, Master Chaos. And before my internet goes again, because I'm not sure how much battery that thing has, you guys rock.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
It's off
New
to
Year.
an interesting start.
Yes. All right, there it goes. Well, I'm glad he was able to pop in for his list. Let's continue. Let's go. A Night Watch Zone. What is your number 4, please?
Let's see. I got to remember what it was. Oh, okay, yeah. This was another movie that it's not a new release. It's actually, I think it's like 5 years old or whatever. And it's another one that I kind of went in blind on. Heard some good stuff about it. I actually had a viewer that mentioned it, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And it is Incident in a Ghost Land.
Now, I know I've heard briefly the name mentioned, but I know nothing about it. So here's another one that you're going to have to school me on. Tell me about this movie.
Well, okay, so I don't want to give away any spoilers, but let me just say this is another movie that I kind of went in thinking it was going to be a certain way, and it went in a total different direction. Hey, it's basically the easiest way to describe it. There's a home invasion that happens. There's a mother with 2 daughters, and they go to this, and of course it has to be a remote house. They move into a family member who passed away, their house, and it's like in the middle of friggin' nowhere. Why they would do that, I don't know why. But anyways, they move out there, and there's this home invasion that happens. And basically, the movie kind of deals with what happens after that. So I don't want to give anything away. All I can tell you is this: as it was going, I was like, wow, it really was that type of a movie to me. To be quite honest, and I know when I said I gave you my list, I tried to put them in order, but this could be the number 1 movie as far as just the whole package. As far as going in blind, totally enjoying it. The movie went into some interesting directions. What you thought was going to happen didn't. Like, when a movie can do that, I mean, it's very hard for a movie to be even somewhat original nowadays. So if I can watch a movie and it totally takes me off guard and by surprise, in a good way, of course, then I'm like, wow. So this really could be my number 1, because when I was writing down my movies, I was trying to figure out what order to put them in. But it was a fantastic movie, Incident in a Ghost Land, man. It's on Shudder. I think that's where I watched it, on Shudder. Pretty sure it's on other streaming as well, but it's fantastic.
Well, you've put it on my list, man, for sure. That's amazing. And like you obviously your whole channel is based around horror, so you love this stuff. So for you to tell me you watched something that was fairly modern and you went, wow, I mean, that's amazing. That's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, it was very smart the way it approached the story. And again, it was another movie that when it was done, I was really kind of letting it absorb, you know.
Mhm.
And usually when I watch a movie, we were going to do an episode on it, and usually I'll turn around pretty quick, watch a movie, and then do an episode, you know, within a day or two, whatever. But we've actually been waiting on it because I really want to approach this a little bit differently, you know. But yeah, it's a great movie. It really is. You have to
Oh,
tell me
dude.
what you think of it when you check it out.
Well, let's do this. If you haven't done an episode yet, I'll watch it and have me on, and we'll talk about it together.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me know. You know how to get in touch with me. So there you
Yeah.
go, guys. There's a hint for a future video in 2022 on Knight's channel.
Done.
Excellent. Okay. Let's go over to Brother Chaos for number 4. By the way, in the chat, and you watching live can play along. Just let us know what your number 4s are, and I'll highlight the comments. Play along. I'd love to hear what everybody's top 5s are. Okay, BC, what do you got for me?
All right, now this movie originally, I heard someone on Instagram say that this movie was kind of wacky and off the wall, and it's called Dream No Evil, and that's not the movie I'm talking about today as my number 4. But because I saw it on YouTube, I liked it, I decided to buy the Arrow box set. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called American Horror Project. Did I get that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And this movie's on volume 2. So I saw that movie, and then the other 2 movies were obscure. I had heard nothing about them. And the movie I'm going to be talking about, my number 4 movie, is called The Child. And it's from the 70s, I think. And it was just so good. It starts off like your typical rich girl, lives in the woods with her in some sort of estate, and she needs a new nanny. So a nanny's like coming in, you know, to take care of her. But then you find out, now this is not a spoiler because it's in the IMDb description, that she could control zombies. Like zombies protect her.
Wow.
And the last 20-30 minutes of the movie is super really cool. I was really surprised with this Arrow American Horror Project Volume 2 box set. Like I said, I went into it to watch Dream No Evil, and then I saw The Child, and I liked The Child better than Dream No Evil. It's slow paced until the 3rd act, but in the 3rd act you get a lot of wacky zombie stuff. And like I said, it's not a spoiler because if you read IMDb, you go to The Child, it says this girl that she somehow controls zombies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't even looked at it on IMDb, so I saw it with like blind buy, and I had no expectations, and I ended up loving it. And this one, I don't have too many details because I saw it at the beginning of this year, and I ended up loving it a whole lot. And I've recommended it to Master Chaos a couple of times, and I highly recommend that movie. If you can. Unfortunately, I think the only way to get the movie is to get the box set, but hopefully they'll put out the movies separately. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but The Child is it's original to the because you've seen zombie movies and stuff that goes on in zombie movies, and you kind of know how they're going to attack, they're going to bite, they're going to do whatever. This one feels different, and the zombies look different as well. So you have those 2 different things. I mean, they don't run like in what's the movie I'm blanking on?
Return of the Living Dead?
No, the running zombies.
They run in that one.
Oh, well, there was a movie that was popular for the running zombies, but I don't recall.
Oh, 28 Days Later?
28 Days Later, yeah. They're not those type of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
But these zombies are so much fun, and you'll like the movie. It's called The Child.
Gotcha. Guillermo this is a friend of the channel, and he says Devil Story is his number 4 favorite movie of the year. Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw that with him.
Wow, man. Okay, so that was everybody's number 4. Let's check in with another contributor video. This is my buddy Fat Samurai Guy and Kyle Wong. They're joining us well, technically it's Fat Samurai's top 5, but Kyle chimes in. Here we go.
On all you moving loving badasses out there, it's your boy back again, Fat Samurai Guy, hanging out on Master Chaos's TV channel, baby. That's right, the man, the myth, the legend. Make sure y'all subscribe, like the video, support him on Patreon because he's a motherfucking badass. Samurai Guy's here hanging out with action director, martial artist, stuntman, that's right, filmmaker Kyle Wong, and I had to bring him in just for this because we're going to talk about our top 5 of the year, baby. Our top 5 of the year. Here we go. Kyle, you know how they always say, well, Mortal Kombat is the greatest video game movie ever made, right? Live action adaptation ever made, you know, the one back in the old days, right?
Yeah.
Dude, they clearly haven't seen Dynasty Warriors,
Oh,
bro.
God, no.
Like, seriously, Dynasty Warriors is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
And what were some of the things you liked about Dynasty Warriors?
Definitely Lewis Kook stole the whole film, as always he does. Lewis
Oh,
Kook
yeah.
always steals a film, and the fact that it was pretty accurate to the video games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
like-
right down to the rock music, you know?
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the best of the, you know, it might be the best
Actually,
live action, you know, adaptation of all time.
It-
you know how
it's-
people say the Dynasty Warrior games are dumb, and a lot of people said this movie's like really stupid, like the horses riding on the waves. They're fucking insane, bro.
Yeah.
They're
And not only
fucking
that-
nuts. It's realistic to me. That happens all the
And-
time.
And not only that, it's up there with King of Fighters.
King of Fighters, now you're talking. Woo,
Yeah,
that's
right?
a close one. King of Fighters is phenomenal. Next up, Don't Breathe 2, baby. It's about goddamn time, right, Kyle? I mean, how long have we all waited to see a rapist in a movie be a superhero? I've been wanting to see
I
that
know.
for a long time. It's about goddamn time.
I know, right?
Next up, Mortal Kombat, baby. You know, I know, again, we're going back to Mortal Kombat 1995, supposedly being the best, you know, live action movie adaptation of all time. Clearly, they have, you know, those people have not seen this year's Mortal Kombat, clearly. And you know what I love about this year's Mortal Kombat? I didn't like the beginning action sequence and the end finale duel with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I didn't like their characters. I thought they were kind of clouding up the film. When really, the best part of this whole fucking movie that saved Mortal Kombat for me was the character of Cole.
And his plot armor.
Yeah, and his plot armor. Goro's in somebody's backyard while they're having a fucking barbecue, and Cole is hearing his daughter say, "Hey, throw him the uppercut," and he kills Goro. Dude, I was in the theater going fucking insane, bro. I was like, yes, more, please. Now, dude, how long has it been, bro? I mean, thank God for motherfucking Snake Eyes. How long has it been since you wanted to see a badass, awesome ninja flick, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Snake Eyes has made ninja movies cool once again, right?
Yeah.
And you know how in the middle of Mortal Kombat, all the fight scenes in the middle of that movie, the editor did a great job of kind of chopping up the fight scenes and not really showing everything, because you don't want to show all of the fight.
No.
You want to cut it up and make it kind of wishy-washy, right? Shaky cam and shit like that.
Yeah.
They almost got it right, but Snake Eyes fucking nails it, bro, because you can't see motherfucking anything.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Why show all of the fight choreography in 100% clarity, right? When you can just chop it all up. Who gives a shit about all the hard work the martial artists and stuntmen went through and the actors?
Because fuck them.
Number one, bro, Matrix Resurrection, son. The movie did an amazing job of subverting your expectations, right?
Yes.
You remember those old movies? I always thought the Matrix trilogy was kind of overrated. And all those old fights, you can see too much of it. All those big, supposedly iconic action set pieces. This movie didn't focus on that shit, right? Everybody fights in a dark area with a little bit of sunlight coming through, with the camera too close. That's how fight scenes should be shown. You agree?
Movies of old, fuck them.
And really, to be honest, my favorite characters in this movie was Sabebe and Kujaku. Oh my God. I want plushes. I want plushies.
Fuck the humans.
All right, on a realistic note. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you on the next one, and subscribe to Master Chaos TV, baby.
That was a lot of fun. Obviously, the first films selected there were all pranks. I gotta tell you, it took me a couple minutes. I'm like, really? He liked that movie that much? And then I realized, oh, I see what he's doing, and he's a genius. But
I didn't realize it until Snake Eyes. I was like, wait a minute, he's heard nothing good about Snake Eyes. And it's like, okay, he's fucking with us.
yeah. No, I was like, it was actually when I hadn't seen it, the Dynasty Warriors movie, when it said, oh, the horse is riding on the waves. I'm like, wait a minute. I know Preston. He wouldn't have liked that. But yeah, thank you again, Preston, for that. I appreciate that. Had me fooled for a minute. Let me just quickly go over his real list. Censor, recently released through Vinegar Syndrome. Spider-Man No Way Home, which was on nobody's list. That's sort of a spoilers for tonight. Nobody's list tonight on the panel had this, but it is a great movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I think you'll dig it. It's very good.
It's amazing. I saw it. I should have put that one on my list, but that's going to be my honorable mention.
We just reviewed Censor live on the channel last night. I watched Censor yesterday for the first time, but spoiler, it's not on my list.
But did you like it? I haven't seen your review with your wife.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's visually, I enjoy it more than the movie, I think.
Gotcha.
But
Now, have you seen
I do
Censor?
like it.
No, I haven't.
Oh, I think you'll dig it. Then Mads Mikkelsen in Riders of Justice. I've heard good things. I have not seen that one. But again, there's just so many dang movies. Wait. I had it right there. Okay. What? Rurouni Kenshin, which I haven't seen any of those yet. And Raging Fire, which I just bought. I'm dying to see that. Big Donnie Yen fan. Again, Preston, thank you so much. Fat Samurai Guy, go subscribe to him if you haven't already. I mean, he's got nearly 30,000 subscribers, so most likely you know him. But if you don't, the link in the description, just like everybody else here. That was awesome. I love that. Okay, back to us. Let's go with our top, well, not top three, but our number three. Where am I on the thing here? Okay, number three. Now, say what you will. Most of my channel here on YouTube is sort of dedicated to obscure titles, boutique titles, things like that. Don't really talk about modern movies only because honestly they don't do well. I review a new movie and it flops. But I review Jesus Steel and Lace and it gets 500 views. So I kind of know what my audience likes, so I tailor my content here for that. But I'm a filmmaker. I work in the industry. I live in this town. So I've got my eye and my eyes and ears sort of glued to the Hollywood wheels. And now the theaters are open. I'm very excited about that. So my next three, I will say, are all theatrical releases and stuff that I've not really talked about on the channel. Actually, one that I saw last night, and it was so goddamn good. I said, this is number fucking one, but wait for that. Number three for me, and I'm curious to get everyone's take on this one, if you've seen it or not. But this was one that I was very scared for, but it proved worthy. Ghostbusters Afterlife. I will agree it's got some terrible pacing issues. It's a little slower. It's a little longer than it should be for a kid's movie. But no spoilers. But that finale, I saw the movie twice, had me in tears both times. And it's like, you just don't know what's going to hit you. But the way they handled it, the beauty of that moment, and there's some behind the scenes stuff that I don't know if I should say because I don't want to spoil anything. I won't say it. But it's just such a beautiful moment. And as a Ghostbusters fan, I mean, this is one of the first movies I watched. I'm like, shit, I want to do that. How do they do that? I want to do that too. To have a movie with a team behind it that cares so much about little details, about little story points, about not Easter eggs necessarily. I mean, they're there, but about little moments that are not just references, but payoffs. Payoffs are very important for a franchise. You can call back and say, oh, I remember he had that shirt in the other movie or whatever. But the emotional payoff for this movie not only makes it an official part 3, but allows the franchise to grow and expand and become its own thing. That's something they should have done with the last one. The girls one was obviously, I mean, let's face it, we just talked about Top Secret. It's kind of a Top Secret type spoof of Ghostbusters. I mean, basically beat for beat. And I think that was the main problem with that movie. It wasn't the girls. There's the lead of Afterlife is a female. It was because the story was wrong, and they were, instead of embracing the past, they were shitting on it. Here, Afterlife embraces the past, gives you a worthy story, gives you an official. I mean, it's a direct sequel to part one because it continues that storyline that wasn't officially closed in the first one, and just delivers an emotional impact. And I think I'm gonna cry every time I watch it. Ghostbusters Afterlife, I absolutely loved it. Let's start with who's seen it here. I know Brother Chaos has seen it.
I've seen it.
Brother Chaos, what did you think?
I thought it was good. I thought the characters were super likable, and it felt right. It had the good feeling that a Ghostbusters movie is supposed to provide. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it, and it was great watching it on a big screen. Yeah.
Oh, I do have a spam bot in the chat. Thank you. I just got them. Appreciate that. Did anybody else see it? Tony, you guys have...
No, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Everything I've heard about it was great. So, and I'm a Ghostbusters fan, so.
Oh man, dude, I'm not gonna say anything, but you are going to be in tears in like the last 10 minutes of this movie. It is just, I mean, even thinking about it, I'm getting choked up. I just think they handled it so exquisitely. I'm curious when you watch it. If you guys put up a review, I'm definitely gonna watch it, or just message me like, hey, I finally saw it. Is it dog shit or it was amazing? Whatever you choose to say.
You definitely have me intrigued now, especially with the crying at the end.
And watch it with your. Well, I don't know if your kids really, like this kind of stuff, but I think they're gonna dig it, Tony.
I think they would watch it.
The
girl, the female Ghostbusters, I like that movie. I was surprised. I'm not really a fan of Leslie Jones. I think she's too loud. Like,
she was actually my favorite one in it. Actually, she's the only genuine one in the movie.
I don't know which one was my favorite, but I just don't like the main thing they fight at the end. I don't want to spoil if anybody hasn't seen it, but like, I thought that was a little lame. But if you haven't seen the Ghostbusters with the ladies in it, check it out. It's not bad. But I do want to see this. I will say I don't like the kid from Stranger Things though, so he has that going against him.
Gotcha. Well, he's barely in it. He's actually not even the focus of it. It's the little girl. But
good.
I see Sumo in the house. What's up, man? That's right. I was gonna put on a suit, but I said, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna be chilling with my homies, so I'll just I'll just wear whatever I was just wearing the other day. Let's see. You know what Kaiju says? I still haven't seen the new Ghostbusters or Spider-Man. Hopefully seeing both Saturday. Well, I hope you enjoy it. You're gonna kick off the new year. Nice, very good.
You know what's funny? The night my wife and I went to the movies, we had a choice between Ghostbusters Afterlife and Spider-Man, and we ended up seeing Spider-Man instead.
Gotcha.
But my wife really wanted to see it, so I owe her. I definitely owe her. And basically, from the way you're saying it, it sounds like this is one that we're really going to enjoy.
Especially if you like the first two movies, because it's. I mean, if you like Ghostbusters and you like that world, you will be. I mean, like a freaking baby at the end of that movie.
Yeah, I definitely love the first two Ghostbusters. The one with the women. It was all right. I thought I didn't understand really the point of Chris Hemsworth character, why he had to be a moron. But I'm definitely looking forward to Afterlife. We got to go check that out.
Yes, let me know what you think too. Kubrick, what's up, man? Good to see you. Okie dokie. So that was my number 3. Tony, what is your number 3 best of the year?
You know. It's funny now. Like I'm grabbing my honorable mentions. I have a stack here, and watching Preston do his thing, it reminded me of like other movies that I have seen this year that I forgot. So I actually want to take out a couple and replace them.
I don't have posters for them, so you'll have to.
No, I have them right here. I'll hold it up. But one that I'm going to keep in there is I was surprised at this. I just put it in one day. I think it was in the summer to watch it, and I was really, really impressed by it. And that's Day of the Animals. There you go.
Nice.
First time watch. I love it was it from 1976. I love seeing Leslie Nielsen like as not a funny guy. I'm always amazed at what they can like teach animals to do and put in a scenario. It's like this could happen. You never know. It could happen. Like animals attacking people and like what would you do in that situation? It's close to Grizzly isn't as good as it, I don't think, but it's close. Grizzly's a whole different kind of thing, but great characters in it. I was just really shocked at how much I liked it. So yeah, that's my was that 3? My third pick,
Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely said Day of the Animals for sure.
Awesome. Okay. Let's head on over to LD Madeira Magic. What do you got for me? What's your number 3?
So this one, I actually have to thank my wife for because she's the one that discovered this film. I didn't know anything about it. I never heard of it, but she's the one that found it and said, let's watch this. And, I'm pretty lucky because my wife and I, we tend to have similar tastes in movies. But this one I found very enjoyable, and that's After the Sunset with Pierce Brosnan, Salma Hayek, Woody Harrelson, and Don Cheadle. So it's one of those big all-star cast type films, and about retired jewel thieves, but wanted to go for just one last crack at it. I thought it was very fun, and I also really enjoyed how it takes an interesting twist at the end. I won't spoil it for those of you who haven't seen it, but I really liked it. I had a good time watching it, and it's funny how things turn at the end, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, that's my number 3.
Your list is so interesting to me because it's all kind of like older films. I mean, I guess we all sort of have older films, but I love that you're kind of rediscovering all these movies. That is a fantastic film, and I watched it mainly because at the time James Bond was in it. So I was like, oh shit, that's cool. It's like a bank robbery kind of thing. I do enjoy that movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm glad that you and the missus were able to bond over a Bond adjacent film. Okay. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, Knight, let's hear your number 3.
Okay, all right. So now we're gonna get into the dirt now. This movie, I was planning on watching it because I love the director, one of my favorite directors, and it was so bonkers. It was so crazy and out there and different from what he had been doing previous. And I'm not giving away any spoilers, but there was this big turn in the movie, and my jaw literally dropped when I watched this. So my pick is from James Wan, and that's Malignant. And I'm telling you, man, when that movie was over, I was just like, what the what did I just watch? You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because I know so many YouTubers, and you had some folks that were like really down with the twist, and you had some folks that are just like, this is crazy. Come on, what the hell's going on here? But it was a great turn. It was a great twist to me, and I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming, and literally when I was done watching it, it literally made my jaw drop. So I was like, I have to put that on my list. And I still love James Wan.
Yeah, no, that's great. James is a good dude. I hate name dropping, but I know James, and I have a small part in Insidious, very small. I'm one of the ghosts at the end.
Nice. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I
love that. Me. So when he dropped this, I'm like, what the hell was he thinking? Like, how did this?
It's so wacky, isn't it?
It's nuts, and I 100%. This was a script that would never have gotten made if, let's say, I wrote it. This is because James Wan is one of the biggest directors in Hollywood at the moment, and he said, "Yo, give me, $10 million. I want to make something crazy." And they're like, "Sure." That's why.
It's crazy. I mean, in the trailer, when I saw the trailer, because it's a new James Wan movie, so I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for this. And you watch the trailer, and I watched the trailer, and I was thinking to myself, this is going to have, the vibes of something like Insidious or The Conjuring or whatever, which I like those movies. So that's what I thought I was going to see. No spoilers, but that's not what this movie is. and I gotta give him credit. You know, when you're a director of so many, you know, big name movies and franchises, and he goes kind of off the deep end a little bit. Fantastic movie as far as the visuals too, you know. But hey,
man, yeah. As little said about that one, the better. You really need to go into that one blind.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a doozy. Razor, thank you so much for the offer. I'm gonna reach out to you about that. This is actually the first time that's happened, which is, I guess, it's a good thing. The first time I've had spam on here. That's fantastic. So hey, in a way, that's kind of cool. By the way, we reached 2,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. We did it.
Yes, and congratulations.
We're probably at almost 2,050. So holy shit, that's crazy. I will be doing, actually I already did the charity donation. I'll reveal the details tomorrow on the New Year's Countdown Live Vinegar Syndrome coverage. So stay tuned for that information. Casey says he's not big on Malignant, but I love the twist and the scene where it's revealed. That scene, that's movie history right now.
It is. Oh man.
Let's see. Okay, let's go, Brother Chaos. Number 3 for you.
My number 3 is actually 2 movies, and one of them is the sequel, but I felt they work well together, and these are the Happy Death Day movies. And I was introduced to these movies through Master Chaos when I had the pleasure of visiting him and hanging out with him for a week or so. And if you know me, I'm not a fan of like newer movies, but he said it was really good. He said watch it, and then somebody else, I don't remember who, told me that it was really good, and so I saw them, and they were just great. They work well together. It's about, has anybody else seen these movies on here that we're talking about them?
I've seen the first one, but I haven't seen the second one. Yeah. And I did enjoy the first one, yeah.
Oh, the second one works well because it has more of a comedy aspect. And the thing I like about it is character. That blonde girl that is the main character in the movies, she has such charisma, and you like her. And the story, for those that don't know, is that she gets to relive the day of her birthday because someone is killing her, and she needs to find out who the killer is. Now, the sequel to the movie, for me, was more visceral in a sweet way, because we get the romance from the beginning, from the first movie, continues in the second, and it comes all together, and it's not just a horror movie, it's a horror movie, and the sequel is a comedy, and it's almost like a romance. You really like to see what happened. I mean, I was blown away by it. I think as a pair, the movies work well together. They really do. So thank you, Master Chaos, for introducing me to these movies. After I saw them and I was over there at your house, I was literally on my phone ordering them from Amazon.
That's great.
So they're just fantastic movies, and they're not the type of stuff that I watch. They're not sleazy. They're not super gory. It's like just a solid, fun slasher, and the second one's a little bit more comedy than the first one, but yeah, it works well together. And I don't like horror comedies that much, but when I find one that I do like, I think it's fantastic. So these movies, if you're gonna watch the first one, watch the second one too. I know some people don't like the second one that much, but it's more about the characters, her progression. You know, she starts off being kind of like, you know, a bitchy college student, but then things turn around and she becomes adorable. I love her character.
Yeah, I love her character too. It's fantastic. No, I'm really glad you dug it, because it's a very special slasher movie for me. It's something my entire family loves. We love that franchise, so we were so happy to share it with you. I know the kids wanted to watch it with you, so I'm glad you dug it. Knight, what did you think of the Happy Death Day duology?
I think it was great. I mean, it was, it's funny because that's one of those movies that kind of snuck up on me. When you see the trailer or you see the commercials for it or whatever, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I kind of watched it on a whim, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good, and I enjoyed the sequel as well. Movies like that, or like Ready or Not, I didn't think I was gonna like that either. And that blew me away. I love that movie. Those are movies that, I mean, it just goes to show you that, of course, I know it, but it's still, we all fall victim to it. But you just got to have an open mind, even with a movie that you think you're not going to like, even if the trailer doesn't really grab you. We live in a world today where, the trailers or word of mouth usually is what kind of brings you in. But yeah, you got to have an open mind. But I do like both of those movies.
Awesome. I agree with you about the open mind. I think I get some folks in my comments saying, you're very negative, or you rant too much. And I say it so many times in the video. I'm always on the movie's side. When I watch a new movie, I'm team movie. I want the movie to be good. Why would I want it to be shitty? I'm always on its side. If the movie disappoints me, that's, I think, where my anger and my passion comes from, because it's like, man, you let me down. You had all this, and then you gave me a Tiger Claws 3, so which is a horrible movie. You know what I mean? So I agree. Always an open mind, and you never know what you're gonna discover that just blows you away. And we'll talk about a whole bunch of those movies down the line. Question in the chat, Vincent. These are top 5 movies that we watched in 2021 that we consider the best movies we've seen this year. So to make it easier for everybody, I said it could be old movies, it could be theatrical movies, it could be whatever, as long as it's something you watched in 2021 that affected you. So we're sort of jumping all over, but these are just movies we recommend wholeheartedly that we've seen recently. Sean, no, it didn't. A spoiler alert, it didn't make anybody's lists, and that's a movie that I only really liked the first half of. The second half didn't work for me as well. The fire station stuff, it took a weird turn for me there. That's just kind of how I feel about that one. I don't know. Has anybody seen Titane yet? No. Yeah, it's not one to track down anytime soon. It's a rough one. Okay, so that was number 3. You know what? Let's do our number 2s. Then we've got one last video, and then we'll do our 1s. So okay, my number 2. I'm trying to find my thing here. My number 2, it was actually my number 1 until last night. I watched this with Brother Chaos at my triumphant return to the New Beverly Cinema here in Los Angeles. I gotta say, I didn't love the experience. It's sort of a crowded theater, and we're going through a thing now that kind of prevents the theaters from being a very safe place. But whatever, the movie was so good, it blew me away, and it flew under the radar. And you need to see it, especially if you are a giallo horror fan of any kind. Last Night in Soho is a masterpiece. I throw that word around a lot, but I really only reserve it for the movies that I think are deserving. Last Night in Soho is a gorgeous film. Number 1, well shot. Number 2, screenwriter trick. The first 5 pages of your script have to do one thing. They have to get you to fucking give a shit. Because we're going to be in this ride with these characters. Who are these people? Why are we spending time with these people? What is this journey? In 5-10 minutes, the script, the movie, Last Night in Soho, paints such a delicate, simple portrait of this character, and you instantly fall in love with her. You're instantly with her. You're instantly on her side. That is movie magic. To do that in 10 minutes and to have all this crazy shit happen to you, it's almost impossible to get an audience to suspend disbelief. Now, of course, it doesn't work for everybody. That's how movies work. It's subjective. But for me, it was masterfully done when it comes to the character development, allowing us to embrace the mundane, but also accept that this is going to go in a different direction than what we expected. Last Night in Soho is a hard movie to pin down and review. I did review it actually with Brother Chaos here on the channel. But so I'm not going to say spoilers or anything like that. I will say it is a something akin to almost an Italian psychic thriller. If you've seen a psychic thriller from the Italian horror film genre, then you'll know what I mean. It's sort of it's very psychedelic, very psychosexual, and really bizarre. And it's the kind of movie that you have to unpack. But luckily, you have to unpack it like a present, not like an onion. And to me, it delivers probably one of the most unique and I would say controversial third act endings of any movie this year. I liked it. I bought the ending, but I can't say that everyone's going to love it again, but it gets a solid recommend from me. It's my number 2 favorite. I just blew me away. I can't wait to get the 4K. It's so beautiful to look at. Brother Cass, you watched it with me. What did you think of it?
I thought it was a great damn movie. Really, really good. I just on my list I put mostly some of the underdogs that wowed me, but that movie is definitely an honorable mention in my list. And it had the colors, it had the music, and it had, like you said, that the main character you liked her instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really phenomenal movie, really phenomenal. Yeah, it's really original as well. I liked it so much. It was really good. I recommend it.
Yeah. And I forgot the music. Oh my God, the soundtrack is so good.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to Amoeba Records, the first thing I asked, I'm like, "Where's the soundtrack? I need the soundtrack."
Yeah, I afterwards the song "Downtown" was in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. Knight, have you seen this yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm like kicking myself in the butt because I wanted to see it. I'm a huge fan of Anya Taylor-Joy, so I'm like waiting to see it. Hopefully, I'll be watching it soon.
Good. I hope you dig it when you do watch it. It's really good. And for Edgar Wright fans, it's very different. It doesn't feel like an Edgar Wright movie, but that's fine. I'm not actually a giant fan of Edgar Wright movies, so I kind of like that it wasn't like his other movies. But all right, so that was my number 2. Tony, give us your number 2.
I'm gonna make it easy because I'm pretty sure you have a picture of this.
Okay.
But I would say, because I'm thinking about it now here, I'm like, I don't like my list, you know. And the more I'm thinking about it, I'd have to go with Siege.
Okay, I don't have a picture of that one.
Well, it's Siege from Severin.
Nice.
Right.
I know you liked it a lot. I haven't really heard anything negative about it. It's such a really cool lockdown in the apartment building, movie. It was just so cool. Like, I was surprised. I watched it and then I saw your review and I was like, oh wow, okay, he likes it too. But like, you really want the characters to get through everything, because they're likable characters. Just really done very well. I always say in my reviews, like, you want to die who you want to die, and it's amazing. Like, the bad guys are really fucking scumbags.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to say what happens, but like, yeah, it was a great surprise, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's probably my number 2. It was in my recommendation, like my honorable mention, but again, I have more honorable mentions than I do ones I like. But the last one, my number 1.
Wait.
No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna say you don't have a picture for it, but I think a lot of people are gonna agree with me.
Your number 1? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Owen says The Green Knight is definitely a movie everyone should watch at least once. Not for everyone, but definitely worth your time. I have to watch that. Still on my list. Okay. LD. Number 2.
Fast and the Furious 9. No, I'm kidding. So I'm totally kidding.
Space Jam 2.
Yeah, there you go. No, this is a film that I was excited to watch again as a DC fan, and it's about time we finally had this, and it's Joker. And for me, what I loved about this is if you're going to do a Joker movie, in my opinion, this is how a Joker movie is supposed to be made. I love how it's a very dark film. I thought Joaquin Phoenix did an absolutely spectacular job. And if you're a hardcore DC fan and a hardcore Joker and Batman fan, you do kind of have to get away from the fact that this is its own vision, so it doesn't follow the typical origin story that we're used to from the comics and the TV shows. But that aside, I thought this was absolutely marvelous. I was completely hooked by it. I don't think this is a spoiler, but there's a small tie-in to the story of Bruce Wayne. And I won't get too far into it for those that haven't seen it. But I thought it was great. It had its moments of gore. And this is the type of Joker movie I think that I would definitely appreciate and I would definitely recommend.
Did that come out this year or was that last year?
Well, it was like 3 years ago, but this is
Was it
something
really?
this is something that he watched in 2021.
That's see, I thought it came out last year because I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, if that was this year, I would put that on my list. If I saw it this year, definitely.
Yeah, I want to say maybe 2019 it came out.
Yeah, I know for a fact because I saw it with Brother Chaos, and it was right before the pandemic shut us all down.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, excellent. Yeah, great choice. I know Brother Chaos is a big fan, right?
I love the Joker, and I'm surprised you. I know LD personally, and I'm surprised you embraced the movie that's so damn dark.
I mean, I love it. I mean, if you're going to do a Joker movie, you can't do a Joel Schumacher presents the Joker,
right?
With Arnold Schwarzenegger running around, and you can't
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this Joker film was made the right way.
Right way. That is the most. Nobody messes with that Joker. Nobody. Yeah.
Or everybody messes with him. I think that's the plot of the movie.
Oh, but you know what I meant? Like he's the most badass Joker that I've seen. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Knight, let's hear your number 2.
Okay, so my first couple picks were movies that I went in blind and was pleasantly surprised or got my jaw dropped, and those were those types of movies. This was a movie I knew what I was going to get going in, and it's pretty simple, it's straightforward, but what was cool about it was the first movie I saw during the pandemic. I hadn't been in theaters for like a year, so I was able to go to see this movie in the theater, which was cool, and I was able to do a live reaction on my channel and so forth, and it's got some great kills in it, and that's the movie Halloween Kills. Michael Myers kicking ass like he should. So yeah, it was great, man, seeing it in the theater. I mean, I hadn't been in the theater in a year, and it just accentuated everything. And James Drew Courtney is Michael Myers, man. Holy shit, he was just great.
I'm curious about this. I want to dig in a little bit here for Halloween Kills. First of all, when the name was announced, I'm like, Halloween Kills? What does that mean? Like that, I just didn't get that. What do you think they mean by Halloween Kills? Like
I think
Halloween Kills or like the season kills? What I didn't understand that.
I don't know for sure. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff on it, and we've had some good debates on it and stuff like that. I actually just had a video today where we had this huge debate on it, whether it was a good movie or not. I think a big part of the movie was about how the town, was infected, by the whole mythology of Michael Myers. How they wanted to stop an evil, and in doing so, they became part of that evil. You know what I'm saying? Like they were just like the whole mob mentality thing. I mean, some of the stuff was a little over the top, or went on a little too long. But I think that's what it was kind of all about. And of course, Michael Myers just killing. I mean, he was just wrecking shop in that movie. He really was. So I think maybe that's what they meant by that,
Maybe.
I could be totally wrong with it. Or maybe they just meant Michael Myers killing a bunch of people. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Evil
Yeah,
dies tonight.
maybe.
yeah, evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight. Yes, Razor.
Right.
Thank you. Hey, John. Welcome to the party, pal.
That's the game right there. You watch it, you take a shot every time they say it.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be fucked up, man.
Freaking die.
Right.
I will say, I think I overall liked the movie. I think it's a movie that will benefit a lot better from part 3 in terms of it, because it's very much a middle movie and it doesn't really, I feel it doesn't really stand on its own.
Mhm.
But I really hope the third piece will make it feel complete.
Yeah, me too.
I get the whole thing about the town, vigilantism. I think that was an interesting angle. But I just feel like I would have loved a little bit more meat in the character development section of it, because there was like nothing, except driving around.
But here's the thing, though, and we've had this conversation so much on my channel, and you probably know this. I mean, I've gone through each movie in the franchise, every single movie in the franchise, and I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of valleys in that franchise, a lot of dumb stuff. So, for this trilogy, and I agree, this is a middle movie, but for this trilogy, the care and respect that David Gordon Green and the team were giving, to this franchise, it's phenomenal. I mean, they got the mask right. I mean, the mask had been so messed up in so many of the sequels.
Yeah.
Maybe except for Rob Zombie's Halloween, that was pretty good. But God, some of those masks that they use in these movies, and you could tell a lot of those directors didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? So seeing Halloween 2018, and I'm not saying that was perfect either, and this one, Kills, wasn't either, but they got a lot of things right. And did a pretty good job with the mythology and stuff. So that in and of itself was like, wow, all right. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Because before that, Halloween as a franchise, I wasn't really that big on the franchise, except for the original. The original is a masterpiece to me. But, a lot of the sequels were just kind of subpar.
Yeah. How do you feel? Because I remember when 2018 came out, they were saying, oh, we're starting from scratch from part 1. Forget all the others. Michael Myers is a human man. He's not supernatural or whatever. But now I feel like in Halloween Kills, they've turned him into a supernatural entity again. Like he's got like this aura about him. Like how is he not dead? I don't understand. He's got to be a ghost. So what do you think is happening right now with the franchise? Are they gonna make him a super zombie ghost or what?
Well, I think what they're showing, it's almost like they're rebuilding that mythology, because when you come into Halloween 2018, he had been, incarcerated for 40 years, so he did what he did in the original, and then he was locked up, and then he breaks free. And it's almost like this is what I think, and no big spoilers, but I think by the time they get to ends, what they really were doing is breaking Michael Myers free from Laurie Strode. Right? Because that's what John Carpenter always wanted. They were never supposed to be siblings. There was never supposed to be a sequel to the original. And in 2018, I think that was the beginning of it. And definitely in Kills, you definitely have him separated from Laurie, because Laurie's the one obsessed with Michael Myers. The town of Haddonfield is the ones that are obsessed with Michael Myers. Michael Myers is he's a shark. He's just going in a straight line, doing whatever he's going to do. And if you're in the way, you're in trouble, and it's I think what they're doing is kind of rebuilding his mythology in a way. And like at the end of Kills, it's not a big spoiler, but they talked about how he's like transcending into something, the myth, the legend, he grows stronger and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll, like you said, with Halloween Ends, we'll see how well all of that's going to land. I'm hoping, for the best. I think it'll be good. I don't know if it'll be great, but I do appreciate, this is a franchise that's 50 years old. So I appreciate the fact that they're actually trying to do some different things to it, rather than it's Halloween night and there's some teenagers and he goes and kills them and that's it. These 2 movies so far, and this third one, it's different. You've got multi-generations, with Laurie, her daughter, and her granddaughter. You've got people around that. You've got, you don't just have dumb teens, on Halloween night. So
Right.
not that that's necessarily a bad thing if it's done right, but I'm just saying I think it's kind of cool that they're actually trying to do some different things with it. And with a franchise that's 50 years old, that's a pretty good feat.
Yeah. Absolutely. I guess jury's still out on that whole trilogy, but I'm hoping good things. And you mentioned Ready or Not, and those are the guys behind Scream. So I'm excited that they're going to bring the same kind of energy to that movie. And I just the main thing I just don't want them to gut stuff in favor of their new version, so that it's I was like, forget all that stuff. Here's the new cool stuff. I'm like, no, fuck that. It's got you can blend it. Feel free to blend it. We will take new characters. We want new characters, but don't crap on what's come in the past. That would be bad.
Yep.
Okay, BC, let's talk about your number 2.
Well, my number 2 is it's a box set, and it's a huge box set. It's the Ingmar Bergman box set from Criterion.
Yes.
It's pretty much all of his movies. And I think there's 39 movies in there. And I haven't seen it all, but it's a humongous box set. But I saw a good 20 movies on there. Now, at first, you see a common thread of he deals a lot with couples and infidelity. And that's a lot of the movies. But then you see he also deals about man and his faith in God, or his lack of faith in God, to put it in his perspective. And then he has documentaries in there that he did about the island where he's living in now. By the way, he's a Swedish director, for those that don't know about him, and he's considered one of the best filmmakers ever. And the box set is really a treasure. Of all the movies that I've seen on the box set, I haven't been disappointed by any of them. You get the classics. You get A Virgin Spring, The Seventh Seal, Persona. All of them are in there. Scenes from a Marriage. And they're all dramas. Yes, they're all dramas. And while Hour of the Wolf is kind of like a horror movie, but I would say it's still a dark drama. I'm glad you like. Yeah, Shame is good. Shame is really good. Kubrick lover. So that box set, if you're a Bergman fan, is a must. You really see him, all his likes as a person, all the different things he decided to film with his film camera, the different themes that incorporate his body of work, and I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Great. That's a good choice. I remember when you sent me the list, I was like, this is kind of like a lot of movies for one choice, but I'll allow it because, like, again, I wanted to make it really loose in terms of like the best of, but if this is your number 2 favorite piece of cinema, then absolutely. Yeah. And that's a big ass, and that's 39 movies. That's
39 movies, yeah.
That's gonna, not only is it heavy as hell, so you can use it for weight training, but you can also use it for mental training too, because it's got, these are not easy movies to just sit down with some popcorn.
No. These are very dense. Oh, I see what you're doing there.
Tony, you have to glue like 4 of those together, and then you'll have the box set. Oh my god, how do you have 2? Look at this guy. Oh, there you go. That's closer. I love it. That's fantastic. Bumpy says, gotta love BC, collects Bergman and garbage VSAs.
Yes.
Yes. Oh man, good times. All right, so that was your number 2. Before we do our number 1s, I've got one more video. This is from another friend of mine, another fellow YouTuber. You know him, you love him. And if you don't know him, you will love him. You should love him. Go subscribe to him. This is Mr. Nathan Jones. Let's check in with him. He has a little 3-minute clip with his top 5.
My name is Nathan Jones, and I want to say thank you, Master Chaos, for having me on for the New Year's end of the year celebration. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what you're going to be calling it. But today we're talking about our 5 favorite films of the year. And this one was hard because I wasn't able to see terribly too many films in theaters, but there's a few that I was able to see. So I'm going to just go through this real quick, and I hope everyone enjoys this. And I would love to know what your favorite films of the year are. I can't wait to read the comments later on when this airs. But the first thing I want to talk about is The Night House right here with Rebecca Hall. This is actually probably my favorite horror movie of the year. I absolutely love this film, and I thought the atmosphere and the camera work were just phenomenal. And also Rebecca Hall just kills it in this film, and I highly recommend it to everybody. And there's one scene in particular that I just cannot get out of my mind. Next from there is a film I don't have physically on me, but the new Bond, No Time to Die. So I was a huge James Bond fan growing up on the VHSs. I think GoldenEye was the first one I watched, and then just since then watched all the Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, George Lazenby, and obviously I grew up with the Brosnan, and then eventually Craig. But I thought No Time to Die was a great 25th Bond film, and I highly recommend it to everybody to watch it if you are a fan of Bond, of course. And then the third film of the year is Dune, and actually I have my uncle's old copy right here that he gave me. I have not read this book, nor have I seen the David Lynch version, but I really love Denis Villeneuve's vision of Dune, and I cannot wait to jump into further into this world, and also probably read it before the second part comes out. But Dune is is the best epic of the year, and is a high recommendation, and I absolutely love it, and it just made me, really excited to jump into the book itself. And then the fourth film is one with Nick Cage, and I have it right here, Pig. Pig, oh my God, this is one of the best things I've ever seen with Nick Cage in it. It's a film about a pig and a truffle hunter who's with Nick Cage in here. He used to be an old chef, and the pig gets captured, and in more or less him on a quest to get his pig back. It's a really tragic and also very human story, and it's absolutely worth your time. It's one of my favorite films of the year. And then last but not least is Come On, Come On with Joaquin Phoenix, directed by Mike Mills. This is a film shot in black and white. It's from A24. It's a film that just crushed me just emotionally, and I thought that the performances by Joaquin Phoenix and the kid that I can't remember his name, his nephew, are just phenomenal. But I highly recommend it. But anyway, I'm over my time, so I want to say thank you all for watching this little short clip, and Happy New Year, everyone. Enjoy the show.
Yay, Nathan Jones, amazing. Thank you, Nathan, for making the time to provide that list. I really appreciate that very much.
What a background on that video. that was good.
Yeah.
And he's showing off his Haunts box set that I didn't get in yet.
Oh, don't worry. I have it, and I haven't been able to crack in. Actually, no, that's not true. I listened to the soundtrack, and I read the book, but I haven't watched any of the movies yet.
He has that Sinbad box set too. I know you recently got it, but I didn't know that was coming out again. I would have got that.
Gotcha. Orlando, I'm curious what you thought of, well, without spoilers. I mean, people probably already know what happens in that one. I'm a big Bond fan, and I'm so of two minds on that movie. I think it's a very good movie, but there are things about it I don't like. Marco, Nathan, very efficient. Well, I told the other video people, don't talk forever. Give me a 3-minute clip of all your top 5. So they shotgunned it. Very honored to have them on here. Okay. I don't want to keep you guys for very much longer. Let's talk our top movies that we watched. To clarify for Vincent Smith in the chat, that we watched in 2021 that made an impact in our cinema journey. I will give you my number 1, and then we'll go in order. This is the movie I just saw last night. Mr. Scass and I were able to go finally on a date. It's been tough. The kids are out of school. Grandma came and watched them, and we were able to just go out and get out of the house, get some fresh air, and go into a movie theater for fresh air, and wear a mask and watch a nearly 3-hour movie that is and should be a movie that everyone watches. And it's going to be a front runner for the Oscars, hands down. Nightmare Alley. Fucking masterpiece. Guillermo del Toro is amazing. He made a movie where a lady has sex with a fish, but he won an Oscar for it. So let's be fair. Nightmare Alley is a remake. Well, technically, it was an old movie. He says it's not a remake of the movie. It's based on the book. I haven't read the book. I've seen the film through Criterion. It's pretty close to the original film with Tyrone Power. But wow, man, this is a movie. This is what movies are about. And I think, honestly, it's a perfect movie theater experience because this is a 2.5-hour movie. I will say it plays very long. It feels very, very long. It almost feels like, when you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. It feels like the first season and the second season of a TV show. It's very dense. And the scenes, there's a magic that Del Toro weaves in the movie that can work against the movie sometimes. But here it works beautifully, and its pace. The pacing in this movie is very slow. It's very languid. It's very delicate. It's very gentle. It is a slow movie. Characters sit and talk. They talk about their past. They talk about their future. They talk about their dreams and their hopes. And then the plot comes out little by little. You don't really get a good idea of what the movie's going to be about really until about an hour into it. But it doesn't matter because you're under the spell of this movie. We meet up with Bradley Cooper. We see he's done something. The movie begins. He's dragging a corpse into a hole in the floor and he sets it on fire. This is not a spoiler. This is how the movie begins. He sets his corpse on fire and he heads off. He's like a hobo wandering. Takes place in the late 30s. He's wandering around. He's looking for a job. He stumbles on this carnival. He starts to work for this carnival and he befriends this sort of actually, LD, you would love it because it's all about old-fashioned magic and mentalism and stuff like that. So I think you'd really dig it.
This is actually on my list to watch.
Watch it and go see it in theaters, please, because we need to support it in theaters before.
Yeah, I actually have seen the original. I have seen the original black and white film, and I loved it. I loved it. Good. That's awesome. Yeah, the original's fantastic. This one's pretty much the same movie, but they changed a couple things. It's definitely more violent than the original. But this is just, so he basically he falls in with this mentalist guy who teaches him how to pretend to be a psychic, and then he spins that off into a career. And then what unfolds is this rich, lush, noir-esque, not so much murder mystery, but it is a thriller that doesn't work on the level of a regular thriller. It is really all about, it is a drama. It's all about characters. It is about mood. It's about setting. But Jesus, set design, art directing. Again, I'm going to go technical because this is what I lean on when I watch this stuff. The cinematography here is amazing. It almost looks like they used all practical light. So what that means is, well, right now I've got lights on me. You know, if I turned off these lights, these are called fill lights. They just used whatever is in the scene. Like this lamp, that would be it. And they would it would just be the lamp. So half the movie is really dark. It has really rich colors. And I noticed that instantly. This movie's darker than it should be because they're shooting it realistically. And that's, of course, movie tricks. And I'm sure there's digital enhancements because you have to. But the fact that the way they shot it, the way they captured an authentic look and feel, the fact that you've got actors in here that are performing above and beyond, their game is, I mean, this is a stellar fucking movie. And the fact that it's not doing very well just shows you, well, where we are in the state of movies in terms of COVID and also audience, attention. People, it's more fun to see a teenage kid dressed as a spider jump around than see a nearly 3-hour movie, of grown-ups talking and I get that. If I were a kid, I probably would not have seen this at all. But if you love movies, even if you've never seen the original, if you love movies, if you love cinema, if you love the language of movies, the poetry of cinema, holy goddamn, you owe it to yourself to watch Nightmare Alley. And I'll tell you right now, prediction, this is a future Criterion release. There's no way it's not. They've got the original, and they've put out pretty much all of Del Toro's work. So this is a future Criterion release, and I'm going to be picking that up 4K. Whew. Love that movie. That was my number one. Sorry for the long one there, but I really want to sell that one because I think it's really, really damn good. And Marco asks, what did Mrs. Chaos think? She loved it. We were both blown over. She hadn't seen the original. Loved it. We spent like an hour talking about it afterwards. It's just a fantastic fucking movie. Go watch it. I'm done. Mr. Tony of the Dead, what is your number one? Look through your crotch stack there.
My crotch stack.
Well, I'm guessing it's in your crotch. I don't know.
No, it's on my desk. Where my crotch is. No, I'm just kidding. My number one, like I said, I changed my list while we're talking about this because my problem is I can't remember what I saw in this year. Did I see it last year? You know, so I had to make sure that this was this year, and it's not a horror movie. And by the way, Last Night in Soho and Nightmare Alley are both on Shane and I list. We definitely want to see them. Nightmare Alley looks beautiful. Soho looks great. Matt Smith is like a evil guy. You know, he's like one of my favorite doctors. So it's cool to see him as an evil guy. Again, he looks evil in it. But anyway, this movie shocked the hell out of me. It was recommended by Fat Samurai Guy and everybody in there. And when I finally saw it, I was blown away by it. And that's The Raid.
Nice. I was there. I was there when it was your first time. So
Yeah.
Tell us about your feelings on it.
Every action movie I watch now, I compare to this. The fighting in this is amazing. If you're into fighting movies, this is like what you need to see. It's so brutal and fast and just amazing at the fight techniques in it and everything. The story is they're in the slums and there's a safe house for like gangsters and lowlifes and all like that, and they can't go on in there. It's like it's untouchable, like it's the safe house, and this SWAT team is gonna go in and under like what do they call it, the darkness and silence, and they're gonna take down the drug lord that runs it, but then they get seen while they're on the 6th floor because there's, I believe, 30 floors. Yeah, 30 floors
Something like that,
of this building, and they get caught. So now they have to fight their way out of this building, and like this building's full of like all these bad guys. So it's like non-stop action, and it was just like, oh my God, it just blew me away, and it was like the best recommendation I ever had in my life. Like I had such a good time with this movie. I have yet to watch the second one, which I hear is nothing like the first one, but man, after this I want to see every movie that these guys are in or make.
That's awesome, man. The second one I was not a real big fan of. There's a lot of talking in it, and there's a lot of stretches where nothing action heavy happens, and then the action stuff I felt they enhanced with CG, which I didn't love. But I'm curious if you watch it. David's Horror in the House. What's up, my friend? I sent you an invite, but I'm guessing you were busy. If you're still here, David, give us your top 5, man. I'd love to highlight what your top 5 movies of 2021 were. They didn't have to come out in 2021. Just anything you saw this year that you really loved. Excellent number 1, Tony. Is there anything else to say, or you're good?
No, that's it.
Alrighty, LD, your number 1.
All right. Well, this will be obvious for me, of course, but this is a film I actually had to watch a few times because I enjoyed it that much, and it definitely speaks a lot to my heart, and that is, of course, The Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
Yes.
It's got a great cast with Steve Carell and Jim Carrey and Steve Buscemi. Will Arnett is not like a big part in the movie. I don't know why he's on the poster, but it's an enjoyable movie. Would I say it's a top 5 movie, a 5-star movie? Maybe not necessarily, but I really enjoyed it. It's a story about the rise and fall of a famous Las Vegas magician. And what I also love is I love Jim Carrey in the movie because you can tell they are completely making fun of Chris Angel unapologetically, and it's absolutely hilarious. And what I mainly love about this film, by the way, the great David Copperfield actually has a small cameo in the film, which got me thrilled to see. But the main thing I enjoy about this film is that it really talks about why someone becomes a magician in the first place and what makes magic so special. It's all about creating that moment of wonder and joy that really help people escape, and having that moment where your mind explodes and goes, wow, that's incredible. And, sure, we all want to be famous, who doesn't? But, when you can do something that really lights up people and fills people's hearts and puts a smile on their face, that's where the real magic is. And the main character, Steve Carell's character, he has to rediscover that, and that's why I truly enjoyed that.
Question for you. This is an old movie. You love magic. It took you this long to see this movie?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And it's I know it's surprising. And I've seen it advertised. I've seen trailers, and but for some reason I didn't jump into it right away. But then finally this year I'm like, you know what? I just have to see it. And I actually ended up watching it a few times. I enjoyed it that much.
I could swear I recommended this to you a long time ago. I think it's probably my favorite Steve Carell movie, to be honest. I think it's so funny.
Really?
And my favorite is the thing where he says, "Oh, I'm donating these magic kits to these hungry, starving orphans in Africa." And then you see the kids in the back opening the kids and taking out the doves and eating them. Because they don't need magic; they need food.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
It was so good. That was a funny movie. I like that one. Well, great choice. And now I'm moving on over to Knight. But Tony and LD, prepare your honorable mentions, okay? Okay, Knight, what do you got? What's your number one?
Okay, so this movie, first of all, I did not think this movie needed to be made. So that was number one. And it was pushed back a bunch of times because of the pandemic. And so it was one of those movies that get pushed away. So when it finally came out, I was really worried that it was so far, from the time that it was announced and it had trailers and so forth. But anyways, my number one is A Quiet Place 2.
I have not seen it yet. So again, this is one you'll have to sort of walk me through.
Yeah, you know what? First of all, the first movie I totally loved. I think John Krasinski did a hell of a job. Directed. I would have never. He blew my mind. He did a great job as a director. I absolutely love Emily Blunt. The story was interesting. It was so much tension in the movie, and it was one of those movies. I didn't see it in the theaters, the first one, but I had so many people that I knew that said it was like the quietest movie experience they ever had, because the movie is so quiet. You know what I'm saying? So like there was nobody really talking, nobody on their phone, because but anyways, but when they said they were doing a sequel, I'm like, well, why? Where else can they go with this? I'll tell you, man, they went in some really cool directions. They opened up the world, the mythology, not to give away any spoilers, but you saw a different side of the family and so forth. And I absolutely loved it. And I was so happy that I was still wanting to see it, because it got pushed back a bunch of times because of the pandemic. And if I remember correctly, it did pretty good, for what it was as far as the box office and stuff. But it was great. Still very great tension in it. Some new things that were happening. Again, I'm trying to stay away from spoilers, but it was great. It was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and it was like I said, one of those first movies, during the pandemic that I watched, and I was just like, wow, they hit another home run. I can't believe it, So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's on the list, but it sort of got buried by a whole bunch of stuff. I just haven't gotten around to it. My main issue, and it's just a small nitpick design wise, I just don't love the look of the creatures. They just I can never pin down what they really look like. I would pause. I don't even know what that is. Like it just makes it looks like a mess to me. Like his face flaps out. What is that? I don't know. It's weird. But I will watch it. I will watch it. I'm glad that's on your list. Okay. David has his.
I just got that Quiet Place 2 for Black Friday, so I still have to watch it.
Yeah.
I hope you dig it.
I actually have the Quiet Place 1 on VHS.
What?
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Interesting. Okay. David's Horror chiming in with his top 5. By the way, go check out his channel, guys. He's got some good stuff. Top 5 and no particular order: Godzilla vs. Kong, Don't Breathe 2 and Not Cynically, No Time to Die, Halloween Kills, Quiet Place 2, Note, I haven't seen Spider-Man yet. Honorable mentions: Dune, Nobody, and Tomorrow War. Yeah, we haven't talked about Dune yet, but maybe this will come around for honorable mentions. Very good list, David. Thank you so much. Casey, if you're in the chat, feel free to leave your top 5, dude. I would love to hear what you enjoyed this year. Brother Chaos, let's round it off with you. What is your number 1 favorite? This is a shocker.
Yes.
When you said like, he's got to be fucking kidding me. But
not kidding you, and this goes to show the kind of stuff that entertains me. I sometimes kind of wish there were more people like me out there that this is my number 1. Anybody out there also agree? And this is from a release from Vinegar Syndrome, and it's from the Cardona box set, and it's the Bermuda Triangle.
Wow, I think you're gonna be alone on this one, but please elaborate why this is your number 1 favorite of the year.
It made me feel really good. I felt like I was the whole movie. It's about a ship going through the Bermuda Triangle, and they find a doll in the water, and they pick up the doll, and the doll is cursed, and then strange hijinks starts happening on the ship, and now I can't pinpoint exactly why this is my number 1. I just enjoyed it so much, and I've seen it twice already, and I just had a good time with it, and I'm shocked that the Vinegar Syndrome is not moving forward with the second installment in the Cardona box set, because that, by the way, it was a box set, Treasure of the Amazon or something, the Bermuda Triangle and Cyclone.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed Cyclone and Bermuda Triangle much more than the Treasure of the Amazon or whatever that one, the first one was called. But I really liked this one, and as I was watching this movie, it has like a drunk guy in it that's very funny. It's a horror-esque kind of movie, but I don't know how to explain it. You just have to watch this movie, The Bermuda Triangle, or The Mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. It's funny. It surprised me. It entertained me. Now, what entertains, as you were saying, that some people rather watch a kid dressed up as Spider-Man jumping around. I'd rather watch these characters in this Mexican movie be on the ship, and all their interactions are fun, and the things that happen are entertaining, and in the end, everything gets twisted around, and I loved that surprise ending. So I really loved the Bermuda Triangle, and I'm glad that this movie exists because it brought such joy to my heart. Now, before I finish, has anybody seen this movie?
Well, I've seen it, but you know my thoughts on it.
You didn't like it.
I did not like it. No, I will say I like this one better than I did Cyclone. I think Cyclone is my least favorite, but the one I like the most is the one you hated the most, the Treasure of the Amazon.
I didn't hate it. It's the one that I least liked.
Right.
But the Bermuda Triangle was. The drunk guy on the boat was so funny. The characters are so well written, so lively. I liked the drunk guy. I liked the hot girl that's always sunbathing on the deck. I liked all the different characters, the ship captain. It's a silly movie. It's a low budget B movie, but it entertained me a hell of a lot. And just it goes to show that I really like this movie so damn much. Yeah, that's all I can.
That's why I love you, man. Because our tastes rarely sync up, but we both love movies, and we both see things in movies that speak to us. And we went to film school together, so we know that side as well. Fuck it, man. If that's your favorite movie, then kudos to you. I'm happy for you. At least Vinegar Syndrome didn't fail everyone completely.
Yeah.
they
I
got you.
hope-
They got you with that one.
I hope there's at least one person in the comments that has seen this movie and likes it, and that would make my day.
I'm sure there's people in the comments who've seen it. I don't know if anyone's
Oh,
liked it,
but
but
that liked it.
I'll tell you what, brother Chaos. I have the set and I haven't watched it. I'll watch it for you, and I'll let you know.
Oh
what I think.
wow, that's good. But
I'm not gonna review it, but
most people hate it. But if you look at the drunk guy, every time he takes a drink and you play a drinking game, you take a drink, you'll pass out before the end of the movie.
So basically, he hasn't seen this movie all the way through.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I didn't play the drinking game. I mean,
No, I know.
that's a drinking game that you could play.
It's called yes, that's right. Inoweb Kaiju has his top 3 with us. Have Cheetah with you. I just saw you in the chat, my man. Go check out his channel, guys. He dropped this one. It doesn't count, but most likely that's going to be on mine and Knight's 2022 list. Hopefully, anyway. Give us your top films of 2021, man. If you're still here, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Casey from Inoweb Kaiju, go check out his channel as well, guys. I can only think of 3, and they're not released this year. It doesn't matter. Zerum, I remember that. I've seen that. That's a kaiju movie. Curse of the Demon, that's a really good one. And Scream of Fear. I think that's the Hammer movie one, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Casey, but I believe that is the Hammer movie. Okay. That's it. That's the top 5. We've sort of gone over the 2-hour mark, but we'll shotgun our honorable mentions as we sort of round it out here. Let's see. Let's start with Brother Cass. Do you have any? We'll go backwards and I'll end it. Brother Cass, do you have any honorable mentions?
Yes, Soho was really good. What else? I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Oh, Dream No Evil, which is another movie on the box set of American Horror Project Volume 2.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for now. Yeah.
Okay. Cam says I liked it. I liked it too, BC, but not sure it would be my fave of the year.
Oh, I'm glad at least you liked it. That's good.
There you go.
Brother Chaos, have you seen the first box set, The American Horror Project?
No, I haven't.
I like that one better than the second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some carnival one there that's it was actually filmed in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
it's very creepy. Yeah.
Interesting. I'll look into that.
Yeah.
It was like Malatesta's something or something, Carnival of something.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one. All right, so double checking, it is the Hammer film. That is a good film.
I believe Arrow does sell them separately now, too.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure. I think
so.
so.
Which is the best film on the first box set?
Like I said, I like that Carnival one. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, the Carnival.
But they're all pretty decent.
All right.
BC, I actually might have it, and I didn't like it, so I'll be contacting you and maybe sending you an early Christmas present for $60. Okay. So what I'll do is we'll have everybody give us their honorable mentions, and we'll sign out with them, and then I'll end it and sign off at the end. BC doesn't have a channel, but you can find him here. For the next week, we're gonna be reviewing The Grave and Ebola Syndrome. I think that's
Ebola Syndrome
coming up next week. So stay tuned for those reviews. And Brian Trash is a maniac, because you know better than that. Okay, Night Watch Zone. This guy has been killing it. He had some troubles on YouTube, but he's back stronger than ever. He's crossed into the thousands, and he's kicking ass. Go check him out. Night Watch, what is your honorable mentions?
Well, I've got quite a few, but just to think off the top of my head, Snyder Cut for sure. That was really fun watching that. Race with the Devil. I had never seen that.
Oh yeah, great.
That's an oldie. But I love old movies, man. I really do. Ravenous. That was a good one. I had never seen that. Always had heard so many good things about it. Finally watched it. Fantastic movie. Absolutely
Yeah.
loved it. Let's see what else. Geez, did I write down some of these? Kong versus Godzilla. That was a fun movie.
Yeah.
It was just, I was just like, I just want to see these two beat each other up. That was great. Gosh, what else? Cold in July. Patrick will love that. We talked about that. IFC Midnight. Gosh, that was such a good movie.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it. Fantastic movie. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Which one?
78.
Okay.
I had never. Well, I might have seen it when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I might have seen it as a kid, but I didn't remember it. And just watched it just the other day. Whew. It was amazing. I love that movie. It's amazing. So, anyways, those are some of mine.
I love it. I love it. What do you got coming up on the channel? What can we expect from you in 2022?
Well, like you said, we just got back over 1,000, which was crazy, going through all of that. But a very blessed year to be able to get to over 1,000 twice in just over a year. That was just it was crazy. The community was great. We had a lot of support, and we're thinking of doing some different things in the new year. As we usually do 2 or 3, sometimes 4 lives a week. We're going to cut that down a little bit, but we've got some really cool collaborations. A lot of these guys that are in the chat, Patrick from Have Cheatable View, we're doing a lot of the IFC Midnight. There he goes. We're doing those movies with him and Coriander and Ben from Cadaver Club. We're having a blast doing that every month. We're supposed to be doing Kill List, hopefully this Sunday. That was a great movie too. I had never seen it, never heard of it. It was good.
Yeah.
We like, seriously, every movie that we've been doing with this IFC Midnight stuff has been great. But just some other collaborations. We do our slasher movies on Monday nights, diving into like the golden age of slasher movies. And I also want to, kind of go into some other movies that, aren't as well known. So, we talk about things like, Scream and Halloween and stuff like that, but I want to get into some other movies that a lot of people don't talk about, some more sci-fi stuff that I haven't had a chance to talk about. We still got several, episodes that we have to redo from the old channel. So we got plenty of stuff that we can do at least into halfway through next year. So it's going to be fun though.
Amazing. And hey, please reach out. It's been such a long time since I've been on. I want to hang with you guys and chat movies, man. We're definitely gonna meet up for Scream and something else, some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'll let you know when we do Incident in Ghostland.
Please do.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, go check out Night Watch. Link in the description. Go subscribe and do not miss that content. 2022 is gonna be a banger year. LD Madeira Magic. Let's start off with your honorable mentions.
Well, one of them I'm going to go with Night Watch and say Godzilla versus Kong.
Okay.
That was a fun one. My wife also gets props for that because she's the one that recommended that to me.
Wow. Okay.
This one, I know I'm going to get yelled at because it has taken a long time for me to see this. Jaws.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man.
It's taken me a while, not because I never wanted to see it, but the opportunity just never came up. But now that we have HBO Max, I was able to see it and thoroughly enjoyed it. And now I understand why you're such a fan of it.
Yeah.
And my other honorable mention, well, I got to say Spider-Man No Way Home. I enjoyed there you go. I enjoyed the heck out of that movie as a fan. I want to go see it again because we saw it opening night, so obviously the theater was crowded, and it kind of ruined it for us a little bit. And I won't get into that whole thing, but yeah, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Jaws, Godzilla versus Kong, and I think I'll say this one anyway: the 2021 Suicide Squad.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. You know, honestly, there's always a first time for every movie. You know, it's you know, the thing that really shocks me and I find it irks me when you know you're in the industry here and you like you hang out. Let's say you like having a meeting and you meet like a young actor. It's like a casting, and then and you say, oh, you know, so we're trying to go for example, I'm just gonna use Jaws. We're trying to go for sort of a you know, like Matt Hooper and Jaws, like that kind of energy, and they'll be like, who? You know, Hooper and Jaws. Oh, I haven't seen Jaws. Haven't seen Jaws. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You make movies. You're an actor. You have to see good. That always irritates me. So I don't blame you at all for not getting to it, but I'm glad that you
But
did.
I will say that is a quote I've heard many, many, many times from many, many people.
Especially living in Florida, man. How else are you supposed to stay safe?
I just bought a bigger boat, so
Exactly. Or just stay out of the fucking water.
well, now I understand the reference to that line. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, Jaws is one of those films where it's popular enough that it gets referenced and parodied in like different TV shows and stuff like that. But now that I've actually watched the whole movie, I have a better appreciation for it.
Absolutely. I love it. That's fantastic, man. LD, you are just like Brother Kaz, a very old friend of mine. As a matter of fact, I think I know you a year for a year longer than BC. We went to high school together, all three of us.
That's
so
true.
I'm glad that we've been able to reconnect over YouTube. What a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what have you got going on your channel next year? What can we expect from LD Magic?
Well, we definitely got a lot of new magic coming up. Right now, my channel is starting to grow a bit. You know, it's still a little wee, but it's starting to grow. You know, we're at 82 subscribers right now, and thanks to all of you that have subscribed. I'm also going to be sharing some videos where it's not just about magic, but just me sharing a couple of stories. That's kind of been the new thing that I've been incorporating. Just share some stories about, you know, what I love and experiences that I've had. Plus doing some collabs with some other people, doing some magic with other people. And yeah, so, you know, check it out and hope you all enjoy it.
I love it. Okay, my friend, thank you again for joining us. It's an honor and a pleasure as always. I always feel very happy to have you here, and having you and BC here makes it extra special. A really nice end of the year treat. Mr. Tony the Dead, my YouTube buddy, my co-host for some of these lives that we've done, who've gone deep into the night together. That sounds weird, but it also sounds nice. What is your honorable mention? Or
I have a bunch, and I'm not gonna not gonna go into detail about them, but one of them is The Night Comes for Us, which same guys from the raid. I absolutely loved it.
Great.
I love Heavy Trip here it's a partner label from Vinegar Syndrome. I love that one. I will also say the Suicide Squad. Didn't make like my top, but like, you know, I just saw this for the first time this year, Steel Dawn, and was actually surprised at how good it was.
By the way, Steel Dawn, there's a super discount on Amazon. It's like $7 now on Amazon.
I'd say pick it up. It's cool.
If anybody's interested.
Patrick Swayze, post-apocalyptic, and he's actually really good in it. Very likable and everything too. Grizzly, I like that one. First time seeing John Wick this year. Really enjoyed it. Steel and Lace. I like Steel and Lace. Again, just going to go through them. The Snake Girl and the Silver-Haired Witch.
Great.
That was awesome. Switchblade Sisters. This was awesome.
Great. Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed that one. First time seeing this, Hard Target. I was surprised. Like, it was like so fun, you know. Just saw this the other day, and finally, Armor of God.
Nice.
So I had no idea what to expect. I love the goofiness. I love his fucking car. I like the fight. It was just fun. This is one that nobody ever talks about. Dinner in America from Arrow. This is a really good one. This is the UK release. And I know I showed the Shaw Scope thing, but like I'm going to go with a box set. nasty habits, nunsploitation. I really enjoyed this. You know, of course, I'm a scumbag, so.
Man. Well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about that
Well, I'm
one.
not really a scumbag, but
No,
you
no,
know, I like boobies. But
nothing wrong with that.
I'd say also the Shaw Scope Volume 1. I'm only halfway through, but it's really enjoyable.
Excellent.
I'd say that. Yeah.
I love it.
I'm sure there's a lot more, but off the top of my head, that's all I could think of.
So what can we expect from your channel going into the new year?
I'm shutting it down. I'm sick of it. I'm just gonna stay subscribed to you.
All right, well that's fine.
No, I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep doing my Wednesday nights with Shayna. She's actually enjoying it now that I finally got her into it. We're going to be doing reviews. As soon as COVID is like gone, I'm going to do more. I'm going to do out and about sites. I used to do those. I don't do them anymore. Just going to stick with my reviewing stuff. I'm going to try to go live. I don't want to give anybody like false hope for me doing a lot more things, because, you know, I'm not always in the right mindset to do things. And I feel like I let people down sometimes. They're like, I'm going live tonight. And I'm like, no, I'm not, you know, but I'd like to be trying other kind of videos I have in mind. So I want to do things on the channel. So yeah, I'm trying to do my videos better. I know Master Chaos saw my recent one. I hope you weren't mad at that.
No, not absolutely not at all. Not at all, man. Feel free. I cannibalize from others. You cannibalize as well. No concern with that at all, man. I loved it. I think I'm flattered that you gained any kind of inspiration from my goofing around. So I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, your videos are great. Like, I'm not just saying it because you let me on the show. I think it's like I see you have a video, I watch it. You know, there's some people like, I get to it.
Right.
There, Marco liked it. Yeah.
Just up to Night Watch Zone. Looking forward to watching his videos tonight. Awesome, Barnabas. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Got a ton of good stuff there. Okay, Tony. Well, thank you, my friend. Again, it's always a pleasure to have you here. And sharing your love of movies with us, whether you're a nasty bastard or not.
Yes.
I think it's all good.
And if you do that Scream panel, I would like to be on it too.
Fantastic. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Nice.
All right.
That's awesome.
I tried getting a Scream group together, a club in high school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Work. It was me and like 2 other people, but
nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had a pamphlet filled out with questionnaire and everything.
Oh wow.
Are
you excited for the new movie?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Very excited.
Have you been to theaters since they opened up, or have you not?
No.
So would you go back for Scream? I mean, you would have to if you're on the panel.
Yeah, I would go back. It would probably just be me going, but yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, we got a sub for LD. Love it. That's excellent.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll have you on there, and I mean, I'll tell you what. I was there opening night for Scream, and I go, this is something special, and I watched it twice in a row that night. And then I was by myself. Nobody came with me for some reason. I was the only one. Then I told my, and I was like, afterwards, I told Brother Chaos and LD and another friend of mine who's in the chat here and there, and I said, hey, we got to go. You guys got to see this thing. This is a masterpiece. Anyway, enough about Scream. Let's do honorable mentions, and then we'll call it a day. My honorable mentions, actually 2 movies I saw recently, newer films. These are all 2021. And these are all, I guess horror, but I wouldn't call them super horror movies, but only one of them. I'll start with that one. The Deep House. Have you guys heard of The Deep House? This thing is nuts. Okay. It's a found footage movie about YouTubers that explore abandoned ruins. Like they explore, closed down mental hospitals and things like that. And they said, hey, there's a rumor that there's a town that is buried under this lake. We're going to scuba dive into this town, into this like hidden lake, and we're going to explore the ruins. And when they get there, they find out, oh, the town is gone, but there's one house still 100% intact underwater. Well, I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, but we're all dudes. Gentlemen, The Deep House is an underwater haunted house movie.
Wow.
I saw a clip of that. I forgot about it. Thank you for reminding me. That looks
Wow.
awesome.
Where did you see this on? Shudder?
Online. It was a review screener, and I think now it's available on Amazon Prime. It might be available for. I know it's coming to Shudder, but The Deep House is amazing, so damn good, and it works. It works so well because I mean, it's I forget the name of the directors. But they've done a whole bunch of stuff. I want to say the Martyrs guys. I think it's the Martyrs guys. They're French. It's a French movie.
Oh, they did Incident in Ghostland too.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Now I'm more excited. But yes, so it's found footage, but it's not like Blair Witch found footage. This is like high definition cameras, and you're underwater, so everything is clear and crisp and just the creepiest. Now, a lot of it doesn't make sense, but it's also the kind of movie where you can't really have an explanation as to what's happening. I'm not going to give anything away, but I watched this with my kids, and we were on the edge of our seat. We're like, "This is amazing!"
Wow.
And it's a thrill ride. And I highly recommend Deep House. That's a really damn good movie. Probably my favorite indie horror movie, right up there with Werewolves Within. Next, another. This was the only movie. This was in my top 5 until I got bumped. This was the only movie this year that really made me drop my jaw. I'm like, what the hell is going on? How did this movie get made? And that would be Lamb. Have you guys heard of Lamb?
Yes.
This is okay. So I want to say I'm going to get this wrong. I think it's Norwegian or something like that. It's a foreign film about a farmer couple that they've lost a baby. They raise sheep. One of the sheep gives birth, or a lamb, whatever, lamb. I don't know animals, but whatever. There's a baby lamb is born. I'll say this because it's not. I won't say anything. There's something wrong with this lamb, and the farmers decide to adopt it as their child, but the lambs don't like that. The lambs don't like that very much. This movie.
Wow.
This is like, okay, BC. This is if Ingmar Bergman made a Cronenberg movie. This is what it feels like.
Wow. Wow.
Lamb.
That's nuts.
I'll tell you what.
It is nuts.
Nightwolf, Swedish film. Thank you. It's one of those movies that like it's very slow. It's very pastoral. It's very quiet. There's not a lot of dialogue. You know, it's just characters kind of looking at each other. That's where the Bergman stuff comes in. Just characters. You usually just see it on their face. They're thinking or whatever. They're processing stuff. There's not a lot of answers. You want answers. You ain't gonna get no answers out of this movie. And then it slowly develops. The last 10 minutes, I was like this the whole time. I could not believe it. I was like, oh, so good. Lamb, see Lamb, it'll blow your mind. That's a good movie.
Noomi Rapace was amazing in it.
Yes.
Where can you watch it?
Lamb is on. It's on
Streaming.
It should be on streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Amazon Prime is where I saw it.
Cool.
And then another one I highly recommend. This is a movie that's sort of getting, speaking of nasty habits, sort of getting some buzz. This is Paul Verhoeven's newest movie. And oh my God, this belongs in nasty habits, but it's also a well-made movie. This isn't a sleazy, it is a sleazy lesbian nun movie, but it's also a really well-made piece of cinema. And that is Benedetta. Benedetta, based on the true story of a nun who started getting stigmata and started believing that she was possessed by Jesus. At least that's what I took from the plot of the movie. To the point that she becomes the mother superior of this convent, and goes on to not so much be tyrannical, but it sort of hinted at that she had mental issues, and the mental issues may have led to her beliefs and the way she acted. Again, it's a movie you don't get answers for because we don't know. We don't really know. It happened a long time ago, but it is a lesbian nun movie from the director of Showgirls. That's all I gotta say. And it goes there. It goes there and it doesn't go there. It's not like I mean, there's no, from what I've heard, there's no horse close-up, vagina close-ups like you'll see in a Nasty Habits box set. But it is a sexy movie. It's very sexually charged. There's a lot of nudity in it. But it is also a very powerful and very well-made movie, and honestly, something that I would have no qualms about owning. I think it's a masterpiece movie, and it's the fact that it was made genuinely, and not like haha, look at it, look at this nun's boobs. It's like it was, they told the story, and that happened in the story, and they told it the way it was, and fantastic movie. So those would be my my top 3 honorable mentions. And we're at 2:30, so we're gonna call it a day there. Wow, what a night, gentlemen! Thank you. Thanks to everybody who has chimed in the chat with their thoughts. Gosh, I'm honored to have these guys here. I'm honored to call these guys friends and fellow cinema lovers that we can all hang out with, and it makes me happy. It makes the world a little smaller, and I think that's a very special thing. So thank you, YouTube. You won't let me monetize, but hey, you'll let me have some friends. So I love that. I appreciate having some of my friends closer than ever. All right, let's call it a day. In terms of what you can expect from me, well, 2022 is going to get crazy. I'll save it for tomorrow's live when we'll do the countdown for the eastern side of the U.S. Because it'll only be 9 o'clock for me, and we'll roll into coverage for Vinegar Syndrome as well. So we'll talk about 2022 then. For now, let's call it a day. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the panel. You guys rock.
No problem.
And let me get my little video here set up. And thanks for everybody watching at home. You guys rock as well. I love you, love you, love you. I love you just the way you are. Take care of yourselves. Happy New Year.